McCleary on the right side for Reading, getting the ball into the box. Oh! Boom! We could get a right royal result here.
Free kick for Manchester United, who could well have won it with a hat-trick for Hernandez. And Manchester United have just taken the lead for the first time in the game.
It's a massive game, as in it is Man United coming to town, and I'm sure all the supporters would have looked at this one and thought, when are we playing Man United? So as far as that's concerned, of course it's a massive game for our fans, and it's for our players. The chance to play against the best is why we're in this league.
They're definitely a club that's improving, and although not a lot of wins, they've always had hard games against them. So I expect a go to Norwich, a really difficult game.
And a very good evening to you, and welcome to the Medeski Stadium, where we have live commentary on Talksport on Manchester United's trip to Reading for Matchday exclusive with Sky Sports HD, where every goal matters. As 2012 comes into its final furlong, Sir Alex Ferguson suggests that the fight to become champions of the Premier League is turning into a two-horse race. United are in front by a neck from their arch-rival City, but at this stage of the season, this is where United begin to gallop. December is a fruitful month. In the last 10 years, they've won a staggering 3/4 of their games, and with the Champions League group won at a canter, they can concentrate on attempting to stretch their lead in this competition right up until Cheltenham time. Reading, who are a few lengths away from safety, are unbeaten in 4 home games, but that doesn't give you the full picture. Everton aside, they have drawn with also-rans. After promotion last year, the chase is on to survive. To do that, they will need to start picking up victories, and the form guide will tell you they've beaten just one side to the winning post all campaign.
Good evening, everybody. Manchester United just away to our right, just going through their paces in their famous red shirts, white shorts and black socks. For Reading, disappointing that they won't have picked up a point at Villa Park in midweek, and they've got a couple of tough games to come. Southampton away, Sunderland away, both scratching around for points. And of course for Manchester United looming a big ding-dong derby, which will be live and exclusive on Talksport next week against Manchester City, that dropped points today. A massive incentive for Manchester United, quite simply to go 3 points clear at the top of the table.
This game kicks off at 5:30. There's a 5:20 kick-off in the Championship tonight, and there's been an early goal at the King Power Stadium for Talksport's Jeff Peters.
Yes, it's Leicester 1, Derby 0. The goal has been scored by Zach Whitbread, the defender with his first for the club since joining in the summer. Waghorn's corner on this near side, and Whitbread powered a header in. I think it's been a long time since Leicester last scored from a corner, but they've got a great start here. It's Leicester 1, Derby 0.
Cheers, Jeff, and Jeff will keep us up to date with everything that happens in that game tonight, whilst we take you through the live and exclusive national radio commentary of Reading against Manchester United. Let me run down the two teams for you, starting off with the home side, Reading, who are wearing white and blue hoops as usual, royal blue hoops with blue shorts and white socks. They start with Federici in goal. Alex McCarthy still long-term injured, so it's Cummings the right full-back. Sean Morrison and Adrian Mariappa the two centre-halves. Nicky Shaw, who plays at left-back. In midfield, McAnuff the captain is on the right, with Tab and Ledgerwood in the centre, Hal Robson-Kanu on the left, and Lafondra and Roberts working in tandem going forward. On the bench, it's Guthrie, Pearce, Hart, Pogrebniak, Hunt, McCleary, and the reserve goalkeeper is Stuart Taylor. Now, Manchester United have made a couple of alterations from their midweek win over West Ham United, where they weren't at their best, but managed to win after a 33rd second goal from Robin van Persie. They start with Lindegaard between the sticks, Raphael, Evans, Ferdinand and Evra, then Anderson, Carrick and Fletcher, Van Persie, Rooney and Young. On the bench, it's De Gea, who can't get back into the team after his wisdom tooth problem, Jones, Smalling, Hernandez, Giggs, Cleverley and Welbeck. Our referee today is Mark Halsey, and Manchester United will shoot from right to left in the first half, Reading from left to right. The Reading players go into a huddle just short of the centre circle away to our left to try and rev themselves up. Brian McDermott told me as we walked into the ground together earlier, we aren't far away. But he also said, I've heard this lot aren't bad either. Saddle up. This ground has seen 25 goals in its last 5 games. Surely Reading against Manchester United? United have got to be nap of the day, haven't they? But this is the Barclays Premier League. Anything can happen. And it's live and exclusive, and it's only on Talksport.
Well, we said that when we turned up to Carrow Road, didn't we? And we were expecting Manchester United then to go on and win against a Norwich that were just starting to turn a corner, if you like. But certainly would expect Reading, with a fantastic crowd here at the Medeski, to be on the front foot, to be aggressive, to try and get in behind the central midfielders, and we know that when you run at Rio Ferdinand and Johnny Evans, there might be something in the game for you.
We're underway, and immediately Reading send the ball out towards this near touchline, looking for the run of Hal Robson-Kanu, the Welsh winger, who has scored 2 late goals this season after coming on as a substitute. He's been given his head in the side in the last couple of weeks to make an impact on that right-hand side of midfield. The ball thrown in by Manchester United down the left touchline, collected on the chest of Carrick and into the centre, where Ferdinand, returning to the starting lineup again today, just with huge composure, turns, shirt untucked at the waist, looking rather languid, just lays the ball off to Raphael, who gives it to Fletcher, who loses out to McAnuff, and here come Reading on the far side of the left. Jay Tabb working his way into a left wing position, nutmegs Fletcher, goes down in the challenge of the Scotsman, and it's a free kick early in the left wing position for Reading.
It's exactly what Reading need to do. We just said need to be on the front foot. Jay Tabb just down that left hand side, cuts the ball inside in between Wayne Rooney and Darren Fletcher. In the early parts of a game, you want to be getting the central defenders, the centre forwards in and around the 18-yard box, get as many corners and set pieces, get the crowd behind you as quickly as you can. And Reading certainly can now with a free kick right on the touchline, pretty much level with the 18-yard box.
Nicky Shorey's delivery in towards the penalty spot. Approaching it is Hal Robson-Kanu. It's flicked into the air and it comes out towards this near touchline, and the same man just dabs it back towards halfway. Forward by Cummings, the former Chelsea trainee, collected by Carrick, and then one back by Michele Ledgerwood on this near side. The right now is Robson-Kanu again on the overlap as Cummings gets to the byline, pulls the ball back into the penalty area, stabbed away by Fletcher, but it's only as far as Hal Robson-Kanu, who sends it into Ledgerwood, who's on the edge of the D. Reading putting pressure on Manchester United early here on Talksport. We played just over a minute and a half and it's 0-0. Here on the halfway is Sean Morrison. Forward, looking for the run of Roberts. It's missed by Roberts and it goes straight down the left side towards Ashley Young via Everett, and United have possession again. And if you've never been to the Medeski Stadium, by the way, it's a lovely little arena to watch football. It's a purpose-built stadium. It's been open for about 10 years now. One tier, it's a bowl all around, the crowd very much on top of the play. We happen to be in the only stand that's got 2 tiers, which is our commentary position is high up in the rafters, overlooking the halfway line, just right of the centre. And away to our left, Ashley Young just takes the ball towards the touchline, then swings it into the centre after cutting in on his right foot, bending the ball towards the far post, aiming for Robin van Persie, but the goalkeeper Adam Federici, clad in lime green tonight, comes out and just snatches the ball from the sky.
Just looking at Manchester United's formation, Darren Fletcher and Michael Carrick, the two that sat a little bit deeper, with Anderson pushed forward into a more central attacking role, Wayne Rooney over on the right hand side, Ashley Young on the left, and Robin van Persie as the lone front man. So very much a 4-2-3-1, but very much fluidity as well when you've got the likes of Anderson joining in.
Here is Roberts on this near side, looking for Hal Robson-Kanu to go on the overlap. It's a tackle by Young, which in turn finds Anderson in a little bit of space in the centre of the United midfield. Now approaching the halfway is Robin van Persie, out wide towards Raphael, wearing orange boots, infield to Fletcher, who just dabs it back to him. And Darren Fletcher, it's great to see him playing football again on a regular basis after being out for so long with that medical condition. He still has to manage that on a regular basis, just to keep an eye on what he eats and how he exercises to ensure that he doesn't get a repeat of the hideous problems that he had. He's found Robin van Persie, who's sent the ball back to Anderson, who's now on the edge of the D, sent it wide towards Ashley Young, who trundles into the penalty area, gets a shot away with his right foot, but didn't really catch it properly, and it flies away off that right boot and almost out for a throw-in on the far side. It did go out for a goal kick, but only just. It bashed the corner flag on its way out of play.
Well, good interplay between Wayne Rooney, is midway through the opponent's half, just plays a little 5 or 6 yard pass into the feet of Robin van Persie, who lays it off one touch to Anderson, that I mentioned is in that more attacking central role. He finds Ashley Young on the left hand corner of the 18-yard box, drops his shoulder to the left, looking to curl it into the top right hand as he's looking at the goal, but like you say, a little bit off. Second opportunity that Ashley Young has had from that angle. I'd like to see him attack fullbacks a little bit more down the outside rather than looking to come inside every single time, looking for that curling cross shot.
Brian McDermott is patrolling his technical area as he sees Ashley Young just jink down the chalk of the touchline on this left-hand side, send it into touch, looking for the run of Anderson. Across comes Sean Morrison, puts it down a play for a throw, and now Everett brings it in field, looking for Anderson. Anderson lifts it over the head of Hal Robson-Kanu, chests it down, volleys it into a dangerous area, but he overhit his cross. It's flying over the top of Rooney's head and bouncing out for a goal kick away to our left. It's been an interesting day in the Barclays Premier League today. On Talksport, we've had it all covered for you. Chelsea beaten at West Ham by 3-1. Arsenal beaten at home by Swansea City. Everton holding on to get a draw at the Etihad Stadium against Manchester City. Stoke winning at the Hawthorns. Liverpool winners over Southampton, and Spurs now 3 wins out of 3 for AVB after a victory against Fulham. They're up to 4th tonight, Tottenham Hotspur, level on points with Chelsea.
Excellent day for them. Arsenal losing, Chelsea losing and getting into the top 4. Good performances, a clean sheet. Doesn't get much better for AVB at the moment.
And a great day for West Ham United. A lot of people will talk about Chelsea's problems after that result today at lunchtime, but West Ham have got a very tricky run of fixtures coming up, and they've already bagged 22 points from their opening 15 games of the season, and that should be applauded for Sam Allardyce and his team. Here it's 0-0 between Reading and Manchester United, live and exclusive on Talksport. Robin van Persie turning midway inside the Reading half, looking to angle the ball out towards this near touchline. The Manchester United left. He overcooks the pass, doesn't find Ashley Young, and it sails behind and goes away for a goal kick. 7 minutes played.
I certainly think that for Reading is that when you've got players like Hal Robson-Kanu, Joby McAnuff, that if you stick the ball over full-backs like Patrice Evra and Raphael, get to the byline. We've seen it, and we say it every single week in Premier League football commentaries, that even the very, very best teams have that vulnerability. When you have pace in wide positions to get behind full-backs and get crosses in the box, that has to be a real hallmark of Reading's play today if they're going to get good service to the likes of Adam Lafondra and Jason Roberts.
Rooney, who's almost operating at most of his time on the right-hand side of the United midfield, sends the ball into the centre. He was aiming to switch the play from right to left, but he hammers it straight into the path of a Reading midfielder, and now the Royals have the ball back in the left full-back position with Nicky Shorey, who sends the ball across the back 4 to Sean Morrison. Morrison, the young 21-year-old, scored against Wigan recently, made his seasonal debut against Arsenal a few weeks ago in a humdinger of a cup tie here, a 7-5 on a cold, wintry November evening. Ball out of play down in front of us. 0-0 is the score. You're listening to Talksport. Manchester United, wearing red tonight, have had to come from behind in a number of fixtures already this season. They took the lead very early on Wednesday night against West Ham United, but after that they seemed a little bit distracted, a little bit jaded. Here's Jason Roberts, who was described by Sir Alex Ferguson as very different earlier in the season. Down the left the ball goes towards Tab back out towards the far side, the left. McAnuff with a chance to cross, maybe cuts inside past Raphael towards the angle of the penalty area, towards the far post. Lafondra rating, comes back to Hal Robson-Kanu, brings it volleys the ball past the goalkeeper with a slight deflection off of Evans and into the net, and Reading take the lead against Manchester United. A well-worked goal from the left-hand side. McAnuff's cross was delicious, and the finish weren't half bad either. Hal Robson-Kanu makes it Reading 1, Manchester United 0.
What a super finish. We just talked 2 minutes ago, crosses against even the best teams. If you can whip them in, there's a vulnerability. Johnny Evans couldn't clear the ball on the edge of his 6-yard box with the ball coming in from the left. And it's a beautiful finish. Gets his left foot right over the top of the ball for the volley. Had plenty to do, but drives it high and wide of the right hand of Anders Lindegaard, and Brian McDermott up in the technical area. Absolutely loving that. Reading 1, Manchester United 0.
Only once have Reading ever beaten Manchester United. It was 86 years ago in an FA Cup tie. No one inside this stadium will remember that. But it might be talked about quite a bit if Reading hang on to this scoreline. They lead Manchester United by 1-0. And what a finish that was from Hal Robson-Kanu.
Beautiful, Sam. The technique, I mean, he had players chasing him down. He was to the right of the 6-yard box, and to keep it down under that kind of pressure, whizzes it right into the top right-hand corner. Beautiful stuff.
Manchester United looking for a response. Evra down the left-hand side, moving in towards the centre, takes on the defender, goes on the outside of Cummings, swings the ball in towards Van Persie. Rooney coming towards it. It's just off of the last follicle of his hair, and it sails out towards the left full-back position where Nicky Shorey rescues it and then sends McAnuff away, and he starts to gallop down the far touchline. He's got Fletcher in front of him. He cuts in field, looks for the run of Lafondra, who's been marshalled by Evans. He's on the edge of the 18-yard box, plays it against the hand of Raphael. Referee says play on because Roberts has got it now. On the far side, the right. Raphael robs him, and now United come forward. And Reading a little bit disappointed because they wanted the free kick from Raphael's handball, which the referee played advantage for. Unfortunately for Reading, by the time that the move broke down, the referee deemed that they'd already had the advantage, so he didn't pull it back. Here's Rooney, 10 yards outside the box, to Anderson's pass, clipping it back into the centre, looking for Van Persie, who's a couple of yards short of the penalty area. It's cleared upfield by Reading, and Jason Roberts is knocked to the floor, and Reading do have that free kick. 10 minutes played, it's Reading 1, Manchester United 0.
It's quite unbelievable, isn't it? Manchester United, how many times this season they have conceded the first goal and come back to win football matches. I'm sure Sir Alex Ferguson will be looking for exactly the same from his team. But there's no doubt that if you can get behind the defensive midfield too, or in this case you've got Michael Carrick sitting, and you take your own judgment really in terms of Darren Fletcher and Anderson in front of him, that once you get behind them into a position where you can attack Patrice Evra and Raphael, that United aren't as defensively solid as perhaps in years gone by.
Well, Manchester United this season, unfortunately for Sir Alex Ferguson, have made hard work of especially late night kickoffs. 10 times they've gone behind in the league in 15 encounters. Here is Lafondra down the right hand side, producing the cross into the centre, looking for the run of Hal Robson-Kanu, Joby McAnuff, who's coming off that left touchline to attack it at the near post, but it's a little bit too high from the right touchline, the cross, and it's caught by the goalkeeper Lindegaard and thrown out to the far side, the right. Reading 1, Manchester United 0 on Talksport with Sky Sports HD, where every goal matters. Let's go down to the touchline because Don McGuinness is with us tonight, and Don McGuinness has he's made a big journey to be here, so we better utilise you, Dom.
Well, there's certainly many others that you can hear in the corner of the ground now that have made a similar journey, and it was fine actually, Sam. No problems getting down here. I wonder if it'll be the same getting back, but I can tell you, ecstatic scenes in the technical area. Brian McDermott, he really enjoyed that. Sir Alex Ferguson in his press conference yesterday spoke about the importance of doing what they did against West Ham in the week and keeping a clean sheet, and again they haven't done it.
It's Hal Robson-Kanu down the right wing, sent by Roberts, low cross towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Ferdinand just struggling to deal with that, just taps it from behind himself towards Evra, and United play their way out of trouble. There's been another goal at the King Power Stadium. Talksport's Jeff Peters.
It's Leicester 2, Derby 0. Martin Waghorn has hit the bar, he's set up a goal, he's had 2 efforts tipped away, and now he's scored Leicester's second goal. Derby gave the ball away, fed into the middle, and Waghorn just steered it past the goalkeeper. He's been outstanding. Leicester have been wonderful so far. 23 gone, Leicester 2, Derby 0.
Manchester United equalise down the left-hand side. The ball's played in from Ashley Young to Anderson. Anderson picks it up at a 45-degree angle, lashes it towards the near post. Alan Federici is beaten high at his near post, and Manchester United are back on level terms. It's Reading 1, Manchester United 1.
That is a superb finish from Anderson, but really good play. The ball was scooped on almost from Anderson midway through the Reading half to Ashley Young. He then receives the pass back on the left-hand corner of the 18-yard box. The angle is tightening on him all the time, and he beats Federici high and wide to his near post. That's exceptional play from Anderson, playing in the more advanced role. First to be able to play the ball out to Ashley Young to follow his run, and a super finish, 1-1.
Well, he's played a part in the last 10 games, Anderson. That's his second goal of the season. And the Brazilian there made a fantastic impact, lashing the ball up towards the near corner. Federici stretched his big left hand up but couldn't reach it. Would he be slightly disappointed to be beaten?
He would, always
angle?
at the near post, particularly he was driving between the left-hand corner of the 18-yard box and left-hand corner of the 6-yard box, which always should favour the goalkeeper. As a striker or an attacking midfielder, you're always shown really to strike across the goalkeeper, just in case he manages to parry it out, and one of your teammates, perhaps a Robin Van Persie or a Wayne Rooney coming off the right, gets an easy tap in. But certainly the the move deserved the goal, just quite simply because Anderson was in the right place to pop the ball off to Ashley Young and then continue his run. Good goal.
Here is Carrick. Again, Manchester United come forward. Backheel by Van Persie, finds Young. Young gets there and sends the cross into the centre. Sean Cummings comes sliding in from the right full-back position, blocks the cross. It goes behind and away for the first corner of the game. Away to our left in the far corner of the stand, where Wayne Rooney just trots over with the ball at his feet to take the corner. The first of the game for Manchester United. 1-1 the score already. We've only played 15 minutes on Talksport. United with the lion's share of possession, 60% so far, and back on level terms thanks to Anderson's goal. Cross sent in from Rooney. I think Johnny Evans has just been pushed to the floor there by Jay Tabb in a rather aggressive fashion, and that's got to be a penalty. What was he doing? The ball came in from the corner towards the back post. Evans controlled it. Jay Tabb just pushed him to the floor.
Yeah, that was silly defending from Jay Tabb. He's going away from towards the edge of the 18-yard box, and Jay Tabb just goes through him. There's absolutely no doubt about it. It's a foul. If it's anywhere else in the pitch, it's a foul. Penalty to Manchester United. Wayne Rooney just taking the 5 or 6 steps back.
Well, Manchester United have been behind 10 times this season. They usually come back to get all 3 points. They were behind for 5 minutes. Rooney steps up, right-footed, and now they're back in front. Goalkeeper goes the wrong way. Rooney sends it to the goalkeeper's left. Federici dived to the right. It was low, it was hard, it was hit with his side foot, and it's now Reading 1, Manchester United 2, and Wayne Rooney is back on the score sheet.
He is indeed. His third Barclays Premier League goal. Don McGuinness rightfully passed on that information that United had gone down 1-0. In 10 of the 15 games, I think that they've won 6 of them, heading towards a 7th. Reading just couldn't stem the tide, particularly down Manchester United's left. They've been absolutely superb with Ashley Young bombing down there. We've seen Anderson getting involved in the attacking midfield area, but a really silly penalty for Reading to give away. Jay Tabb, little nudge in the back.
Well, that was a really stupid decision by the Reading midfielder, and I saw him against QPR and I thought he was probably one of their most effective players, and he started this evening brightly too, but that was just a fundamentally poor decision by Jay Tabb, just pushing Johnny Evans in the back when Johnny Evans had his back to goal and wasn't actually doing anything dangerous.
And know your players as well, Sam. If that's Robin Van Persie or Wayne Rooney, they've got the ability to do a little Cruyff turn and get themselves back on goal. But with the greatest respect to Johnny Evans, he is a central defender. He was looking to shield the ball away towards the edge of the 18-yard box. There's no need to give the foul in that position.
From a position where Reading were in front, they find themselves 2-1 behind here to Manchester United, who scored 2 very quick goals, one after 14 minutes, the second after 16 minutes. And Wayne Rooney, after being criticised for not being on the score sheet enough, has scored his second penalty of the season, the other one coming against Braga in the Champions League. It's his 4th goal in all competitions so far this campaign. Has been playing the slightly deeper role. He's created 6 opportunities for goals, 6 assists already this campaign, which is why that sort of highlights the fact that he is playing in a slightly different role to usual, with Robin Van Persie being the number 1 striker. Here's Hal Robson-Kanu at the other end, trying to take on Patrice Evra. He goes wide out towards the near touchline and then towards the corner flag. He travels with the ball at his foot, then cuts back once and twice, and then manages to get the cross in. It's blocked by Evra, the captain, and it's steered behind and away for the first running corner of the game. I think Manchester United are going to be as generous from this set piece as Reading were at the other end. 2-1 Manchester United lead, and we've only played 19 minutes on Talksport with Sky Sports HD, where every goal matters.
It almost doesn't make any difference, does it, whether Manchester United score first or second? You just know they're going to create chances in a football match. Incredible mentality from the manager down, belief in each other, belief in the team, belief in the creativity that they've got. Superb outfit. The team that beats them to the Premier League, or in front of them in the Premier League, will go on and win it, no doubt.
Shorey with the delivery towards the near corner, and it's headed home, and they're back on level terms, and Adam Lafondra has scored. It's a wonderful delivery by Shorey. What was the Manchester United defence doing? It was straight into the middle of the 6-yard box, and it was a bullet header home. It's 2-2. What a match.
Super header. Just saying, the commentators curse whoever beats Manchester United will win the league. But not with defending like that, stood like statues on the edge of their own 6-yard box. Nobody in red went to attack it. Adam Lafondra did, right in the centre of the goal. 2-2, and what a cracking game. Goals hard to come by through a lot of the games this afternoon, up and down the land, but certainly here it started like an absolute cracker. Reading down and out. You almost thought it was going to be Manchester United that were going to go on and maybe get a third or a fourth, but corners, crosses and set pieces now have proven Manchester United's undoing. Sam, 2-2.
What's the perfect birthday gift? A goal against Manchester United. Adam Lafondra celebrates his 26th birthday tomorrow, but I'm not necessarily sure that goal can be topped in terms of presents tomorrow. Foul over on the far side.
Well,
it was Joby McAnuff who was running down the left touchline. He outwitted Raphael. Raphael left his foot in. He was late and he gave away a free kick in a dangerous area. It was a similar sort of area in which he conceded a free kick in the first few minutes of the match on J-Tab.
This is where, and that's why I said, Hal Robson-Kanu, Joby McAnuff, Jason Roberts, who makes runs as a central striker, old school central striker that runs into the channels. If they can get free kicks in those positions either side of the 18-yard box, we've seen already 2 goals for Reading. Both have come from whipped-in delivery from that left-hand side. They'll get a lot of confidence from this.
21 minutes gone. Here's the free kick by McAnuff. It's swung into the centre with a right-footed in swinger, headed away by Evans, comes back towards Tab, then onto his left foot by Ledgerwood, doesn't strike. Shorey swings the ball out towards the near touchline from a deep midfield position. It's chested down by Hal Robson-Kanu, takes the ball into the right wing position now, trying to bamboozle Michael Carrick, successfully doing so, getting round the back towards the byline, pulls the ball back, away by Van Persie, only as far as Tab into the area, chips the ball to the far post, Lafondra coming in on it, and it's headed away by Raphael, out of the penalty area and cleared away from the right full-back area.
Sam, that was a crucial header away, whipped in from the right-hand side by J-Tab.
Here's Tab again, approaching the penalty area, sends it wide, where it's collected by Hal Robson-Kanu. Delicious looking cross, and Evans comes to the rescue with Lindegaard coming out of his goal to snatch it. The two got confused, and Evans just knocked it over the top and out for a corner. Manchester United look a little bit rattled here. 2-2 is the score, and Manchester United found themselves behind within the first 9 minutes of the game, equalised through Anderson, went ahead for a Wayne Rooney penalty on 16 minutes, and now it's back at 2 apiece. Here's the corner, Nicky Shorey to take it. Did I say that Manchester United weren't going to be as generous from set pieces as Reading were? Well, that's proved not true, hasn't it? Here is Shorey to deliver again, the man who created the second Reading goal with his left boot. He's got Roberts on the goalkeeper. He's got Lafondra lurking as well at the back post. Sean Morrison inside the area. Mariappa too. And now Jason Roberts, who's been pushing and shoving with the Manchester United captain Patrice Evra, is being called to the referee. Joby McAnuff just goes up to Jason Roberts and does the captain's thing by having a word in his ear and just telling him to calm down. Evra and Roberts are still gesticulating with Mark Halsey, the referee, and we await the corner. 22 and a half minutes on the clock. It's Reading 2, Manchester United 2. Didn't have any goals last weekend. Here's Shorey in towards the near post. By Sean Morrison, who puts Reading back in front. Another bundling bullet header from a fantastic Nicky Shorey delivery. Sean Morrison gets his second goal of the season, and Reading get their third of the night. We've only played 23 minutes, and it's Reading 3, Manchester United 2.
Manchester United are having an absolute torrid time from defending corners and set pieces. They're all trying to man mark, but there's nothing. It's just one of those. It's almost like a volleyball player coming to the net with a smash. Reading have done it twice, starting on the edge of their own 18-yard box. Ball gets flighted in from right and left. One straight run towards the penalty spot. 2 clear headers, 2 goals. Brian McDermott is absolutely delighted. 3-2 to Reading.
OK, let's just calm ourselves down.
It's unbelievable. They just can't defend from set pieces.
What is going on? 23 minutes on the clock. It's Reading 3, Manchester United 2. Reading taking the lead after 9 minutes. Anderson's equaliser at the near post, which Federici will be disappointed with. J-Tab then bundles over Johnny Evans in the area to give away a penalty, which Wayne Rooney converts. That's 2-1 United. Lafondra then heads home from a Nicky Shorey corner. From the next corner, Morrison does exactly the same. And it's now Reading 3, Manchester United 2. We'll go down to Don McGuinness in just a second, who will try and make sense of it from the benches. Here's Ashley Young, forward towards Darren Fletcher, who's 15 yards inside opposition territory, then sends a loose pass out to Raphael, and it runs out of play and away for a throw-in. Just dropped from 101 to 28-1 in the last few minutes for it to be 4-4 at half-time. Robin Van Persie, 7-2 favourite to score the next goal. Lafondra, 12-1 to score the next goal in the game. And if you want more in-play live odds and markets, there might be some value around at bet365.com. Let's go down to the touchline. Here's Don McGuinness. Don?
Set pieces again. The scourge of Manchester United this season. The look on Sir Alex's face, it told its own story with that second-headed goal. And it had to be a goal from Adam Lafondra prior to that. The lifelong Manchester United fan, Cantonan Solskjaer, his heroes, grew up in Stockport, played for Stockport, always dreamt of playing for United. Inevitably, he has to get a goal. And you can see the delight on his face. He's rubbing it in all his family that are over with the United fans, I'm sure.
There's 4 goals in 14 appearances, and he scored both goals in the only game that Reading have won in the Premier League this season. That was against Everton earlier in the campaign. Manchester United have a free kick just left of centre inside their own half. They trail by 3-2 to Reading. And when you think that, it was quite interesting listening to Brian McDermott in the build-up to the game. He said, we don't have any problem scoring goals. Well, I saw them on Tuesday night in the game against Villa, and I'm sure you watched it too, Stan. I did think, they haven't really got a goal threat. They've already scored 3 against arguably the best team in the land this season. And we've only played 26 minutes on Talksport with Sky Sports HD. Every goal matters. J-Tab wins the ball from Fletcher, then gets pushed to the floor, but he continues his run to the far side as he releases Lafondra. Lafondra trying to shake off Rooney, shake off Fletcher, wins a free kick, and about 7 yards inside Manchester United territory, right on the far side, the left. It's a free kick.
One of the hallmarks of Reading's play from that fantastic run that they had in the Championship last season was sticking the ball into the channels, and if they continue to do that, don't forget Manchester United, when they're attacking, they like to get Patrice Evra and Raphael forward. If on the counter-attack Reading can get balls in behind, that they can buy those free kicks, get the corners. We've already seen they are a real threat, but Manchester United down their left with Anderson drifting into the zone where Ashley Young is, that's where they're very dangerous too. Expect plenty more goals.
Reading lead by 3-2, and they've been the better team. Here is Hal Robson-Kanu down the right-hand side, getting the ball onto his left foot, delivering a lovely cross into the centre. It's missed by Lindegaard, and it comes into the open box, and it's hooked clear by Fletcher, and Manchester United look a shambles at the back.
They can't defend. They cannot. This isn't kind of cliche time. They haven't defended one cross well in the opening exchanges of the game.
Here come Reading once again, down the left side with McAnuff, who's caused problems, and he rolls Raphael. He's hauled to the ground by Raphael as he goes past him and sprints towards the area, and that's going to be a yellow card for the young Brazilian fullback who's having a torrid time over on that far side, the right.
Another free kick. Down that left-hand side.
28 on the clock. Manchester United here, just really rocking. You never write them off. You still think...
they're going to score goals. Yeah, you know that they're going to probably score 3 or 4 or 5 today. You just know it.
However, at the moment, they're on the wrong end of a 3-2 scoreline, and they're having to defend a free kick, a set piece, another one from the far side, the left, which they haven't dealt with at all well all evening. Reading leading by 3-2. Robson-Kanu, Lafondra and Morrison. Rooney and Anderson for United. Here's the delivery from Shorey in towards the penalty area. It bobbles up again. Once again, it's inside the 6-yard box after scooping off of the defender. There was a Reading shirt attacking it. No Manchester United player dealt with it convincingly. And in the end, it comes out to this left-hand side and Johnny Evans is able to clear. Let's go off to the Championship. A goal in the game between Leicester and Derby for Jeff Peters.
Yes, Derby are back in this. It's 2-1 to Leicester. Theo Robinson is the man who scored for the visitors. Got in behind the defence. He was onside, steered it past Schmeichel. Whitbread and Waghorn with the Foxes goals. 6 to the break. Leicester 2, Derby 1.
Cheers, Jeff. Thank you very much. I was quite jealous of Jeff last week, I think, because he was having all the goals and we were having none. And tonight, we've got a bucket full, haven't we? And what a day it's been in the Barclays Premier League. So much to talk about tonight on Call Collymore. 08717 2233 44. Here's Manchester United coming forward, looking to equalise for the second time tonight. It's coming back from a deficit for the second time tonight. Ball cleared away by Reading, chested down by Roberts, but only as far as Carrick. Carrick for Manchester United once again. Reading 3, United 2. Here is Anderson with his back to goal, trying to spin past Nicky Shorey, the left fullback. England international at one point, remember. Played here when he was an England international, then went to Aston Villa. Didn't really work out for him there. Raphael. infield. Back to Fletcher and then back to Raphael again. Here's Anderson. Anderson being pursued by Ledgerwood and then out to the near touchline where it's picked up by Evra. Evra on to Ashley Young. Little flick looking for Evra's run on the overlap. He finds Evra, the Frenchman, with a low cross into the centre. Rooney there! And that might be the goal that sparks his season into life. 9 yards out, side-footing it home beyond Federici to equalise for Manchester United. It's 3-3 and we've only played 30 minutes.
Stereotypes, isn't it? Left-hand side, get across into the box. You just said that they're really struggling from their right full-back area. Manchester United superb. Beautiful bit of skill from Ashley Young on the left wing. Just lets the ball come through his legs, spins it into the path down that left-hand side. It's whipped in hard and low by Anderson. Wayne Rooney on the penalty spot. Simple, effective, beautiful football. 3-3, what an absolutely good, cracking game we've got live on Talksport.
Now, I was at a game in, I think it must have been 2007 when Mark Halsey was the referee. It was at Fratton Park. Reading were involved and it finished 7-4 to Portsmouth. There were 11 goals in that game and Mark Halsey, who's today's ref, was in charge. That's the highest ever scoring game in the Premier League, and I just wonder if we might be threatening that a little bit later on today. I think in order to deal with the problems at the back, Manchester United are going to make a change. Tom McGuinness. Dom.
His way off the pitch, Sam, and Smalling will replace him. I'm not sure he's injured. I think it's tactical because he's been booked, of course. And I'm sure, are we watching the first teams here? Or is this Reading under-11s against Manchester United under-11s? I'm not quite sure. But anyway, Smalling is on. He played against West Ham in the week. Raphael is given an early bath. And I tell you what, he's not happy. Raphael throws the coat down. Oh, a little tantrum from the Brazilian. He's not at all happy. But Sir Alex has made a statement there.
Well, he's had an absolute torrid in the first 30 minutes.
He has, because that's where all the free kicks have come from. And to be fair to him, I mean, he hasn't really... Wayne Rooney's playing a little bit further up the pitch. He's not an out-and-out wide right midfielder. So although Wayne Rooney's trying to get back and cover for Raphael, he's been left one-on-one, sometimes 2 against 1 down that left-hand channel. And I think a little bit more defensive pragmatism Chris Smalling brings into it. Of course, he can play as a central defender as well as a right-back. Played in those positions a number of times already for Manchester United.
Well, it's Reading 3, Manchester United 3. Yes, it's Reading 3, Manchester United 3, and we've played 32 minutes. You're listening to Talksport, and it's a pleasure to be here. We're all wrapped up, and we've got big winter coats on, hats on tonight, gloves and scarves and thermal underwear, but we are being royally entertained in Berkshire by these two. I don't necessarily sure the two managers will be delighted, but it's 3-3. And we're back to where we were at the beginning of the match because it's all square. Down the right the ball goes for Jason Roberts. Headed away by Ferdinand, who just outmuscles him, but Roberts gets it back again, sends it wide to Hal Robson-Kanu. Decent cross towards the far post. Smalling with a header, and it's nudged out towards Wayne Rooney. Poor clearance, collected by Ledgerwood. Ledgerwood dabs it to the left. It's collected by Shorey. 3 yards in from the touchline. Looks up. He's got Roberts in the centre. It's aimed towards Roberts. Stepped over by McAnuff, and Evans is there just to step out and calm things down and bring it away from Manchester United. It's Smalling, gives the ball away again. And Manchester United have been guilty of that on a couple of occasions tonight. 33 minutes gone, and it's 3 apiece. We've already had 6 goals in the match. Ball sent down the right, looking for Hal Robson-Kanu, again running on the front foot. And Ferdinand comes across, swipes at a clearance, it hits the chest of the Welshman and bounces out on this near side for a throw into Manchester United. It's a chance really for us to catch our breath because it has been non-stop from the minute the microphones went on and the whistle blew to where we are now, whereas we've shed 6 goals between Reading, who are inside the relegation zone, and Manchester United, who were, before the start of play today, on top of the Barclays Premier League. They will need a point to go back to the top of the league tonight after City drawing with Everton at the Etihad. Roberts down the right, cleared away by Evans after a stab tackle and then a falling clearance. Evra to Carrick, on to Van Persie, who haven't seen too much of so far. Swivels sends it wide, where it's collected by Ashley Young, just inside Reading territory. Infield, the ball goes to Carrick. Carrick across the midfield. Fletcher invited to run onto the loose pass. It wasn't the most accurate from Michael Carrick. And then infield for Carrick once again from Fletcher. Flicked by Rooney into Van Persie. One-on-one with the goalkeeper. He doesn't miss. He slides it low to Adam Federici's left. And Manchester United are in front again. Robin Van Persie scores his 13th goal for Manchester United. And that is why Fergie says he's number 1. It's Reading 3, Manchester United 4.
What a beautiful touch from Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney is level with the left side of the D. Back to goal, ball's played into him, just flicks it round the corner. He knows exactly where Robin van Persie is. The two central defenders from Reading were ball watching, and when you present Robin van Persie with a goalkeeper, there's usually one outcome, and that was the outcome. 4-3 to Manchester United. What an incredible game.
Producer, what was the odds on the 4-4 half-time? Wow. Reading 3, Manchester United 4, and we've played 35 minutes on Talksport. I tell you, that scoreline from Fratton Park 5 or so years ago is about to be threatened. Here on this near side, the right, is Hal Robson-Kanu as Reading look to try and get back into the game. He jinks past Evra. Evra leaves his foot in. That's a free kick, another one. 7, 8, 9 yards outside the penalty area, shade to the right. And Evra is protesting his innocence. He's having a word with Mark Halsey. And it's not going to do any good, even though Ashley Young has come over to lend his voice to the protests as well. Joby McAnuff will have the opportunity to swing the ball in. Away to our right, Manchester United fans just underneath the scoreboard in the corner of the ground, behind the goal that they are defending and have already conceded 3 times, are jumping and bouncing up and down and displaying banners that says Red Army. 3 stars on that banner. You know what they're for. There's a 4-man Manchester United wall. Ashley Young is just a little bit further to the right. Roberts, Morrison and Lafondra are lurking inside the penalty area. Hal Robson-Kanu's there as well. McAnuff at the back post. Shaw is going to deliver it left-footed. He's going to swing it in towards the far post and hope that someone can get a touch on it. He may even go for goal. Reading 3, Manchester United 4. 36 on the clock. Nicky Shorey delivers left-footed towards the far corner, and it's caught by the goalkeeper, who takes 1 step to his left and just gobbles the ball up.
Way too near to Lindegaard, 7 or 8 yards outside the 18-yard box to the right. On this right-hand side, I think that Nicky Shorey should have played it much nearer to the far post, where, let's be perfectly honest, Reading have been a massive threat.
Van Persie, who was well onside for the goal that he scored to put Manchester United in front, gets flagged offside on this occasion, and the reason that he was flagged onside before wasn't flagged, he was onside when he scored the goal, was because I think Nicky Shorey was playing him on the left full-back position. Reading 3, Manchester United 4. I will sum up exactly what's happening in this game before half-time. Let's do it now. 8 minutes on the clock when Robson-Kanu gave Reading a lead with a lovely finish after a deflection off of Evans and a poor headed clearance by the same man. Anderson equalised for United. Rooney then put Manchester United ahead from the penalty spot. Lafondra equalised from a set piece. A corner from this near side swung in and he delivered a bullet header past Lindegaard. Sean Morrison then put Reading ahead from another corner, another header. Raphael got booked because he'd given away too many free kicks over on the far side. Rooney then equalised after a good work down the left involving Young and Evra. Smalling then came on to replace Raphael, who'd been hauled off because he gave away far too many free kicks. And then Robin van Persie put United ahead for a second time. And it's Reading 3, Manchester United 4. And this is Talksport.
You could argue that neither side have got the ball down and kept the ball for, 7 or 8 passes at all during the game, which makes it even more incredible. Usually one side, when they score so many goals in such a...
You don't really see 7 goals scored in the first 35 minutes. You don't,
no, and Sir Alex Ferguson, I think, will be very disappointed, because we know that Manchester United have the ability to score goals against any team pretty much anywhere in Europe. But with the greatest respect to Adam Lafondra and Jason Roberts and the balls that have gone into the box, I would imagine that he wouldn't be very happy with the fact that players haven't been marking touch tight, that they haven't been putting people under enough pressure when those crosses and set pieces have come into the box.
I mean, it's really difficult to sort of contextualise a game, because the truth is that it's so balmy and so crazy. I mean, sometimes you have to just think, well, just write it off, it's just a nuts game.
But United haven't really kept... I mean, if United keep possession, they win the game. They just keep the ball off. I think precisely that's what I mean. This is a team, looking to go 3 points clear at the top of the table. I'm sure Sir Alex Ferguson would have been more than happy to have 60-70% of possession and come away with a solid 2-0 victory. So there will be questions, of course, ahead of a big game next weekend at the Etihad Stadium, Manchester City against Manchester United.
Here's a clip ball forward by Anderson to the edge of the penalty area. Van Persie chests, spins, sends it wide to Ashley Young, produces across towards the far post, and there's a header by Smalling, cuts back to Van Persie, it's cleared off the line, they think it's gone in, the referee says it hasn't, and the linesman doesn't indicate that it has either. We'll have to see a replay of that because Van Persie thinks that crossed the line. He's not protesting too much now, which would indicate maybe that it didn't, but that was another chance for Manchester United to go in front.
I think that's game over if that one goes in. Beautiful ball from Ashley Young, he cuts in off the left-hand side again towards the corner of the 18-yard box, whips it into the far post with his right foot. 2 bites at the cherry. Give the referee and the linesman, who was in a good position over on that right-hand side, the benefit of the doubt.
Shorey with a cross at the other end, trying to get Reading back on level terms. Sometimes I just think, what is the score again? I can't remember. Reading 3, Manchester United 4. Here on the edge of the 18-yard box is Johnny Evans. And I mean, if that goal had gone in, then I think you're right. Reading would have been finished.
A tweet here, Lee Buchan says, judging by tonight's defensive performance, Aguero, Dzeko, Tevez, Silva and Yaya Touré, it doesn't quite work like that.
No. Anderson to the right. Van Persie on the edge of the D, sending the ball further towards the wing position where Rooney produces a swirling cross into the box. It's headed away by Sean Morrison and then run out by Hal Robson-Kanu, but good work by Ashley Young to win it back for Manchester United. Here's Rooney, 10 yards from the edge of the penalty area. Back towards Carrick. Carrick towards the right-hand side where it's collected by Chris Smalling, a first-half substitute. Terrible cross, easily cleared by Joby McAnuff. Upfield it goes towards the centre circle. It's backed by Evans to Evra. Evra infield towards Rooney. Rooney pursued by Legit Wood. Back to Carrick in the dead centre of the Reading half. Towards the right now. Swept out by Fletcher to Smalling. Back to Fletcher again, the Scottish international, finding Anderson, who scored the first Manchester United goal. Sent back towards halfway. Manchester United enjoying a bit of possession for the first time in the football match here. Consistent possession, that is. Here's Young down the left side, jinking one way than the other, falling as he crosses the ball. It's misguided, it's straight to Jay Tab, and he sends it upfield, finding Roberts. Roberts now trying to take the ball down the touchline and run into space, but he overhit the ball. His control was poor, and it bobbles out of play and away for a throw. And let's go to the half-time at the King Power Stadium. Leicester against Derby. Jeff Peters.
Leicester lead 2-1. They were so dominant in the first half hour. They could have had half a dozen, but had to settle for 2. Whitbread heading in Waghorn's corner, and then Waghorn finishing a move which involved Knockaert and Vardy. Derby finally got going in the last quarter. Robinson halved the deficit, and then Salmon probably should have levelled. This game is far from over. Half-time, Leicester 2, Derby 1.
We'll go down to John McGuinness in just a second, because he's had the benefit of seeing that incident again, where Robin Van Persie shot towards goal and it was cleared off the line by the Reading defence. He's going to describe it for us in a little bit more detail for us. Did it cross the line, Dom? Because there's a few people suggesting that it did.
Well, it would have been impossible for Van Persie to probably get a good angle on it, but it was over the line. There's no doubt about it. The ball was over the line, and again we're going to have the old arguments rage their heads. The assistant referees today, Mr. Bryan, Mr. Betts. Now, obviously in place, it's very tricky, of course, in the naked eye and everything else. So it is over. It was over.
Lee Betts over on that far side. The man who didn't award the goal, the referee, Mark Halsey, did look at him. And if Manchester United don't go on to get all 3 points here, that might well be a big talking point. At the moment, they're heading towards yet another win over Reading. They lead by 4-3 away from home, and we haven't finished the first half yet. Reading 3, Manchester United 4 on Talksport with Sky Sports HD, where every goal matters. Been a few of them tonight.
Yeah, United about to make a substitution.
The second of the evening so far. So we've had loads of goals and 2 substitutions for Manchester United, and we haven't even had the break yet. Here's Evans on the left-hand side of the centre of defence, sending it towards halfway. Falls over as he tries to find Van Persie. It's met by Cummings. Cummings then looking for Adam Le Fondre. It's now nudged away by Rio Ferdinand, and then helped back to his goalkeeper by Ashley Young, and Lindegaard smacks the ball through the centre of the pitch. It's collected by Shorey, and again it's very scrappy. It's not controlled or considered by either team. It's just all out attack whenever they get the ball. Here's Le Fondre rolling past Ferdinand on the edge of the D, sending it wide to Hal Robson-Kanu, who takes a shot. Goalkeeper doesn't really deal with it properly. It bobbles off his chest into the open penalty area, and Carrick has to come to his rescue to take it out of the box.
That's a great ball though from Hal Robson-Kanu, right-hand corner of the 18-yard box, whips it in towards Lindegaard, looking for a little touch from Jason Robertson. Oh, so nearly does the big central striker get it. Good play from Le Fondre originally, 5 or 6 yards outside the 18-yard box, dead central. excellent touch played out to Al Robson-Kanu. But like you say, Sam, considering we've had so many goals in this game, neither side have got the ball down and played themselves often into positions. It's been mistakes, and it's in the right full-back area. Sean Cummins having a real torrid time up against Ashley Young. Almost has free run at the moment. We're backed up by Patrice Evra, and we know where Manchester United's failings have been from corners and set pieces.
Rooney to Ashley Young, and then on to Evra down the left-hand side, inside the Reading half. He's pushed back by Hal Robson-Kanu, and then as it goes to Ashley Young again, Roberts just sort of bundles into him, and it's a free kick down in front of us. And now another change, this time in the centre of midfield. And Anderson's been off the pitch for a couple of moments, Don McGuinness, and he's not coming back on.
He is not. No, Phil Jones is coming on. It looks like he's going to take his place in midfield. Has played there before, but interesting when you got Ryan Giggs on the bench. But Jones, who would be considered mainly a defender, of course, he slots into midfield.
Back from injury, had some problems over the course of pre-season, and has only recently come back from a long-term issue. He sees himself as a central defender too. That's his preferred position, but quite happy to play anywhere for Manchester United if he's getting a game. And I'm sure Sir Alex Ferguson is pleased to see him back to full fitness. 3 minutes of added time at the end of what has been an intoxicating first 45 minutes on Talksport. And Jason Roberts is knocked to the floor as he comes forward down the left side. He was brushed to the ground by Wayne Rooney, who was tackling coming in from the right touchline, and it's a free kick to Reading once again. Within sort of striking range for Nicky Shorey to get the ball into the area. It gives it to Ledgerwood instead. He does strike towards goal. It bounces off of the thigh of Smalling into the D, and then hacked further clear by Fletcher, who turns the ball over halfway, where it's collected by Cummings, who brings it down, sees it all the way back to his goalkeeper. And Federici, who's already conceded 4 goals in the match, hacks it high upfield. Evra into Jones. Jones allows it to run across his body and then sends Rooney forward, then continues his run. Jones looks for the return pass, doesn't get it. Rooney holds on to it, turns inside the Reading half, swings it into the centre. In the centre circle is Fletcher. Fletcher on to Ashley Young. Young, who's now operating on the right-hand side, with Smalling a little bit further up from him at the moment, into Jones from Fletcher's pass, and then cut out by Mariappa, and it's cleared upfield by Reading. And now here's Hal Robson-Kanu in those yellow boots, running diagonally from the centre out towards the right-hand side. Plays a 1-2 with Roberts, doesn't get the return because Evans has come sliding in and nudges the ball out for a throw-in level with the edge of the United penalty area. 3-4.
There's no doubt they've been a real threat, haven't they? I've enjoyed watching Hal Robson-Kanu. Adam Lefondre, the runs that they've been making have been clever. They've been incisive, looking to play off the striker and getting behind the full-backs. There's no doubt that Brian McDermott will have watched Manchester United and believes that there's plenty there for them if they can get the ball to the byline and open play, something that we mentioned, never mind the corners and the free kicks. But now United have made 2 changes with Phil Jones and Chris Smalling coming on, so...
Well, they haven't conceded since Smalling came on, have they?
No, precisely, and I think that with Phil Jones, I mean, saw a performance he played as an orthodox midfielder at Villa Park last season, scored a cracking goal, got forward, and he's obviously got a cracking engine to be able to get back as well, so perhaps more than Anderson can get back as well as forward. McAnuff twisting and turning on the edge of the United penalty area, sends it to Shorey. Shorey with the delivery towards the far post. Hal Robson-Kanu nods it down, hacked away by Evra as it drops towards Lefondre, and it's up over halfway, and Morrison, who scored the third of Reading's 3 goals, just pokes it back towards the wide right position, and Sean Cummings nudging it into the path of Roberts, away by Carrick, upfield towards Van Persie, heads the ball down and then tries to hook it over his head. United have it back on this near side with Rooney once more after a scrappy bit of play. Infield it goes from Rooney to Jones. Jones looking to help it back towards Evans, who side-puts the ball first time out to Smalling. And in the 48th minute of the first half, Manchester United lead by 4-3 at the Madesi Stadium. They don't call this the Mad Stad. No, it is a mad stat today, there's no doubt about that.
For any other reason about the number of goals. 25 goals in 5 games before today. Make that 32 goals in 5.5 games. Reading 3, Manchester United 4. This is the tale of the tape. Robson-Kanu giving Reading the lead by a 1-0 after 8 minutes. Anderson after 13 equalised for Manchester United. Rooney put United ahead from the penalty spot after J-Tab pushing on Johnny Evans. That was 16 minutes. Adam Lafondra equalised for the home side after a Nicky Shorey corner. Another Nicky Shorey corner yielded a Sean Morrison bullet header to put Reading 3-2 ahead. Wayne Rooney equalised after 30 minutes. Chris Smalling then came on to replace Raphael's hauled off after 30 minutes. Robin Van Persie put United in front for a second time after great work from Rooney. He beat the offside trap and produced a lovely finish, sending the goalkeeper the wrong way to make it Manchester United 4, Reading 3 at the break. Stan Collymore watched that first 45 minutes. What on earth have we seen?
Well, we said before the game that even against good sides, if you play the ball in front of them, they're all very organised. Lots of teams with one or two central midfield players that like to sit. But exposed at fullbacks, Raphael, that had a torrid time, he was brought off tactically, not a happy man when he came into the dugout. Patrice Evra, of course, is getting into veteran status now. That quite simply, they bought lots of free kicks, a couple of corners and decent play in open play Reading, which allowed them to get crosses into the box that were attacked so well by Reading players with real aggression that United just couldn't deal with. At the other end of the pitch, I thought that Ashley Young was very lively down the left, that he was the real conduit, the real catalyst to get United playing and creating and scoring goals. I doubt, with the two substitutions that have been made with Chris Smalling and Phil Jones, that Sir Alex Ferguson will let lightning strike twice, Sam.
Well, the concern for Reading will be a quick glance at the statistics, which suggest that 18 goals in the second half of games have been conceded by the Royals, which is more than anyone else. We are only at half-time, and Manchester United have already scored 4. So God knows what's to come after the break. We will give you everything that's happened in the Barclays Premier League. We'll run down all of the scores for you. It's been a very good day for Manchester United so far, up until they kicked off anyway when they found themselves behind very quickly, but they're 4-3 up at the break. They top the table if it stays like this by 3 points. Manchester City drew with Everton at home. Liverpool winners against Southampton. Tottenham 3 wins on the trot now for AVB. They beat Fulham away from home. Swansea big winners away at Arsenal by 2-0. No one saw that coming. West Bromwich Albion beaten at home by Stoke City. QPR only getting a point when they needed a win, Harry Redknapp said after their game against Aston Villa. And earlier today, West Ham beat Chelsea by 3-1. So Rafa Benitez's record as Chelsea boss yields 1 goal, 2 points, 1 defeat and 2 draws. Chelsea in third position, but now level on points with Tottenham and West Bromwich Albion. At the break here, it's Reading 3, Manchester United 4, and we've got the second half to come. Only on Talksport.
Matchday exclusive on Talksport with Sky Sports HD. Don't miss the goals and passion of the N-Power Championship exclusively live on Sky Sports HD, where every goal matters.
If your oil light comes on, it could be too late. Parts of your engine might have been grinding together for miles. So before you see red, check regularly and top up with Castrol. You don't have to be a petrol head to do it. It's easy. More car manufacturers recommend Castrol oil than any other. So make sure your car is topped up with Castrol. Castrol oil. It's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering.
Confidence is an enigma. One day you're scoring for fun, another you don't know where your next goal's coming from. There's no coaching manual, no FA badge. Good job I don't need one. Free kick, 25 yards out. Feel good. Keep a cool head. The confidence to win. Head and Shoulders, the confidence to stay on top of your game. Now with Head and Shoulders, watch Barclays Premier League highlights at yahoo.co.uk/top of your game.
Help prevent leaves clogging your gutters and drains with the multi-award-winning Hedgehog Gutter Brush. It's the amazing brush which lies inside your gutters, preventing build-up of leaves, twigs and debris. The Hedgehog Gutter Brush, the time and money-saving device so easy to install, anyone can do it. See it in action and find a local stockist now at hedgehoggutterbrush.com. Say goodbye to gutter clutter with the amazing Hedgehog Gutter Brush. Trust only genuine Hedgehog Gutter Brush in your gutters.
I know you're probably not thinking of buying a car right now. You're probably doing the ironing or stuck in traffic. But if you are, take a look at the new Peugeot 208 Access. It's Auto Express's best Super Mini 2012. That's because it's got a surprising spec for the price. And you get up to 65 miles per gallon with no car tax, so it's economical too. Let your body drive with the Peugeot 208 Access from 9995 on the road. Contact your local Peugeot dealer to arrange a test drive today.
Get money back free bets when you bet with William Hill on your mobile. Money back if you bet on a correct score and the game ends 0-0. Money back if you back a 5 or more team acca and you miss by one result. Or if your first goal scorer ends up scoring second. Download the app or visit williamhill.com on your mobile. William Hill, the home of betting. £50 max free bet. Single bets only. Exclusions and conditions apply. Free bet winnings exclude stake. Please gamble responsibly. Over 18s only.
Get it straight from Selco. Selco. It's where the trade go. At Selco Builders Warehouse, you always get great trade products at great trade prices. All day, every day. It's called the Selco Straight Price Guarantee. For instance, during December, a Matrix fan oven and gas hob pack is only £189 ex-VAT. And there's no need to buy in bulk to get the best trade prices at Selco. Guaranteed. Get it straight from Selco. Selco. It's where the trade go. Matchday exclusive on Talksport with Sky Sports HD. Watch the greatest league in the world exclusively live with Barclays Premier League action on Sky Sports HD, where every goal matters.
Talksport. On air, online and on TV at Sky Channel 0108.
In playtime on Talksport, brought to you by Bet365.com. Proud to be an official supporter of Talksport. Bet in play now.
Welcome back to the Majeski Stadium, or the Madstad as it's nicknamed, and I'm sure it is the Madstad tonight because Reading 4-3 behind against Manchester United after what was a fabulous but a very odd first 45 minutes. Steve Free from Bet365. What price a second half with no goals?
And there was you moaning last week, Sam, about boring 0-0s. Yeah, I mean, the eighth goal market, Sam, is Reading to get the next goal 5-2, Man United 4-7, and no eighth goal is 9-2, which is fairly big, obviously, but I do take your point with the substitution.
Yeah, 7-4 is the record scoreline in the Premier League. Pompey against Reading, 29th of September 2007, so 5 and a bit years ago, but Reading involved again. What chances on 11 goals, do you know?
Yeah, Reading to win the game 7-4, Sam, is a whopping 300-1. And Man United to win 7-4 is 20-1. So obviously there's a little bit of difference there.
Just a little bit. And what price on a Wayne Rooney hat-trick after all the headlines this morning about Sir Alex Ferguson saying that he needs to chip in with more goals? He's already got 2 and we're only at the break.
Yeah, he's 6-1 to get the next goal, Sam, and 13-1 to finish with the match ball. 13-8 to finish with the match ball.
Cheers, Steve. Thank you.
In playtime, brought to you by Bet365.com. Proud to be an official supporter of Talksport. Bet in play now.
Second half to come between Reading and Manchester United, live and exclusive right here on Talksport. But let's round out the rest of the day's action in the Barclays Premier League, starting off at Upton Park.
West Ham 3, Chelsea 1. The first West Ham win over Chelsea in the Abramovich era. And for Chelsea, that's 7 Premier League games without a win. Their worst run since the Russian took over the club. It all looked plain sailing, though, for Rafa Benitez in the 13th minute. His first goal as Chelsea manager, Juan Mata, stroking in beautifully from Torres' right-wing cross. But West Ham, who'd been poor in the first half, rallied brilliantly in the second. Carlton Cole equalising on 63, outmuscling Ivanovic. And then with 4 minutes to play, Mo Diarmi with a thunderous drive from a pullback by Carlton Cole to make it 2-1. And there was still time in stoppage time for Modibo Maiga to roll in a third to send the Upton Park crowd into delirium. West Ham 3, Chelsea 1.
Arsenal 0, Swansea 2. Swansea pretty much outplayed Arsenal here from beginning to end. But for Wojciech Szczesny, the beating would have been even worse. 2 good saves, 1 in each half to keep out Angel Rangel. Add to that Vermaelen's block from Nathan Dyer. Swansea won it though with 2 goals in the last 3 minutes from signing of the season, Michu. £2 million, 2 goals here. First a 1-2 with Moore before then curling one past Szczesny and then running from halfway after a good tackle inside the Swansea half and then beating Szczesny at his own pleasure. Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger admitted these were difficult times. I like my team to win matches. They never looked like winning this. And the fans, they left long before the end. Arsenal 0, Swansea 2.
Manchester City 1, Everton 1. Honours even, another tough game for City, who came from behind to remain unbeaten, and a result just about right. Everton were ahead on 33 minutes. Baines' cross got the slightest touch from Kompany. Fellaini with a header at the far post, saved brilliantly by Hart, but Fellaini knocked home the rebound with his knee. City were back on level terms 2 minutes from the break with a controversial penalty. The goal scorer adjudged to have brought down Dzeko, and Tevez slotted home the spot kick. Chances were few and far between in the second half. Maicon went close for the host, while Hart denied Jelavic from a free kick right at the end. Everton have now drawn 7 of their last 9 games, while City extend their unbeaten run to 15. Manchester City 1, Everton 1.
Fulham 0, Spurs 3. 3 wins on the spin for AVB's side, and all 3 goals in the second half of what had been a scrappy encounter. Sandro from long range broke the deadlock. His shot from over 30 yards out took a late turn back on target and deceived Mark Schwarzer, and 2 goals followed from Jermaine Defoe with trademark accuracy in the box from setups by Sigurdsson and Dempsey. Sigurdsson had come on for the injured Bale, who was booked earlier for diving. Dawson limped off too, but Spurs are now level on points with third place Chelsea, whilst Fulham are without a win in 7. Fulham 0, Spurs 3.
Liverpool 1, Southampton 0. It took a long time for Liverpool fans to take to Brazilian midfielder Lucas. It took manager Brendan Rodgers no time at all. 3 months after being out with a thigh injury, Lucas was straight back into the starting lineup, and he produced an excellent performance in a team display which the scoreline nowhere near reflects. The intelligent defensive buffer which he and Allen provided allowed Liverpool to send in wave upon wave of attacks. Enrique and Suarez both missed a hatful. Shelvey and Suarez hit the bar. But the only goal of the game came from that Suarez effort from a free kick, as Liverpool recycled the ball and Johnson's cross was headed home by Daniel Agger. Liverpool 1, Southampton 0.
West Bromwich Albion 0, Stoke City 1. Stoke have never conceded a goal at the Hawthorns in the Premier League era, and so the run continues. It's 4 wins out of 4 for Tony Pulis' side here, and this was a typically hard-working display. The only goal came after Albion had enjoyed plenty of possession, but didn't take their chances. Begovic on a couple of occasions was really troubled with opportunities that Albion carved out. The goal came 16 minutes from time. Kenwyn Jones played a ball out for Jeff Cameron, who launched one into the penalty area, and there was super sub Dean Whitehead to bundle the ball home for the Potters. 24,739 were here to see it. It finished West Brom 0, Stoke 1.
Queen's Park Rangers 1, Aston Villa 1, and Rock Bottom Rangers now 15 matches without a win from the start of the season, equalling the all-time record for the worst start in the Premier League set by Swindon in 1993-94. Villa took the lead today through Holman, then Mackie headed the equaliser for QPR, who dominated after that with visiting keeper Guzman making a string of fabulous saves, but new boss Harry Redknapp couldn't fashion a win in his first home game in charge. QPR 1, Villa 1.
Matchday Live on Talksport. Full-time classifieds. The Barclays Premier League.
West Ham 3, Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0, Swansea 2, Fulham 0, Tottenham Hotspur 3, Liverpool 1, Southampton 0, Manchester City 1, Everton 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1, Aston Villa 1, West Bromwich Albion 0, Stoke City 1, and in the evening kick-off with live and exclusive national commentary right here on Talksport, it's Reading 3, Manchester United 4.
The N-Power Championship.
Huddersfield Town 2, Leeds United 4, Birmingham versus Middlesbrough was postponed, Bolton Wanderers 1, Ipswich Town 2, Bristol City 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 4, Crystal Palace 3, Brighton 0, Millwall 0, Charlton Athletic 0, Nottingham Forest 1, Hull City 2, Peterborough United 1, Blackpool 4, Watford 4, Barnsley 1, and in the evening kick-off it's Leicester City 2, Derby County 1 at half-time.
N-Power League 2.
Rochdale 2, York City 3, Torquay United 2, Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Wycombe Wanderers 2, Bristol Rovers 0.
Matchday exclusive on Talksport.
And he scored again!
Sky Sports HD, where every goal matters.
Oh, another one!
Welcome back to the Majestic Stadium, where Manchester United and Reading are out for the second 45. We are live here for live and exclusive national radio commentary. Remember, tomorrow on Talksport, we've got the FA Cup second round game between the MK Dons and AFC Wimbledon. Georgie Bingham will host Sunday exclusive live from midday tomorrow, keeping you right across that game and everything else that happens in the world of sport tomorrow afternoon from 12 o'clock. So live commentary from the MK Dons and Wimbledon tomorrow. We've got live second half commentary here from Reading against Manchester United, where at half-time it's Reading 3, Manchester United 4. We're just about to get underway. I don't think there's been any further changes at half-time. for Manchester United, who made 2 substitutions in the first half. Smalling coming on for Raphael. I think that was tactical. And Anderson replaced by Jones. That was because of an injury. Manchester United to shoot from left to right in this second 45. Reading from right to left in blue and white hooped shirts with blue shorts and white socks. They've got Adam Federici in goal, Cummings, Morrison, Mariappa and Shorey the back 4. Ledgerwood and Tab the 2 holding midfield players, with McAnuff on the left wing, Hal Robson-Kanu on the right, and Adam Lafondra and Jason Roberts up top. For Manchester United in red, white and black as usual. They've got Lindegaard in goal. A back 4 now of Smalling. I'll break off because United coming forward, but only momentarily because Young has just put the ball straight out of play down the right channel. Smalling at right full-back now. Ferdinand, Evans and Evra. Carrick, Fletcher and Jones in the centre, with Rooney, Van Persie and Ashley Young further up the pitch. So Reading 3, Manchester United 4 on Talksport. And what's the second half hold, Stan Collymore?
I think it's vitally important that for Manchester United that obviously Wayne Rooney that's playing over on this right-hand side of the 3, and Ashley Young that they get back and help protect Patrice Evra and Chris Smalling that came on in the first half. And when Reading look to play diagonal balls either from right back into the left-hand channel or vice versa, that Wayne Rooney and Ashley Young are only within 5 or 6 yards of their full-backs to double up on them and not give away so many free kicks in that position, because that's what really got Reading going in the first half, is that they found momentum, they found tempo by getting the ball into wide positions and getting crosses into the box.
44 on the clock, 44 minutes to go, before the conclusion of the match, and it's cleared away from the centre of the penalty area by Evans, looking to try and get it over halfway. It's intercepted by Nicky Shorey, sent back down the left. Offside flag was up against Roberts, but they play on. Sent wide towards the left-hand side by Manchester United, looking for Ashley Young. He miscontrols it, ball was out of play, and it's away for a throw in which Sean Cummings will take. Ball thrown in field. Ledgerwood to Morrison. Sean Morrison clips it forward down the right touchline, aiming for Lafondra. He nudges it into the path of Hal Robson-Kanu, who's very aggressive, very three-dimensional really. He's good with the ball at his feet. He's got good pace. He's got a bit of trickery as well. And he's caused Manchester United problems down that right-hand side, just as McAnuff has done down the left-hand side too. 3-4 the score in Manchester United's favour. Here's Jay Tabb breaking up play after Van Persie threatened to try and break. Into the feet of McAnuff, who drives the ball towards the top corner from 25 yards out. Wasn't too far away. Good 3 or 4 yards over the top in the end.
Jay Tabb's a sort of midfield version of Jamie Mackie, isn't it? QPR, full of energy, full of life, really gets the other players running around, grafting and sets the tempo. He nicks the ball off a Manchester United player midway through his own half, and then a good run by was it Hal Robson-Kanu?
Jamie
McAnuff that run pretty much to the edge of the Manchester United 18-yard box and let that effort fly high and wide above Anders Lindegaard's right hand, but worth the effort. Well grafted by Jay Tabb.
Michael Carrick making his 250th start for Manchester United today. Takes the ball into the Reading half of the field, sent it to Ashley Young. Ashley Young hoping that Van Persie was going to run towards him rather than away. Gives the ball to Morrison, but United get it back and they just push the ball forward, funneling it through towards Young, who sends it out wide to the left of Van Persie, who goes wide, clips the ball towards the centre of the 6-yard box, headed away by Mariappa, and not cleared by Reading at the second attempt by Jay Tabb, further cleared by Cummings. United still putting pressure on. Tabb stabs it away. Evra mops up for United, and the Red Devils have the ball again with Fletcher with the ball at his feet, the Scotland international. Carrick, Rooney and Manchester United just controlling the tempo of the game. Jones trying to juggle with it, not the best defending by Sean Cummings. Contract expires at the end of the season. Playing for a new one. And he's in the side ahead of Chris Gunter, despite Gunter's recovery from injury. Ball sent down the right channel looking for Lafondra. It was played in by Hal Robson-Kanu. Interception by Ferdinand. Back to Lindegaard. Lindegaard forward to Carrick. And then out towards the left-hand side and Evra. Could Lindegaard have done better with any of the goals? Would he be at fault for any of them?
Not really. I mean, you assign central defenders to go and attack. They're not playing zonally. They're playing man-for-man, Manchester United, and around the 6-yard box to the penalty spot on corners in particular. And they just weren't competitive enough. If somebody has the wherewithal to be able to really make a concerted effort to go and attack the ball, you have to be on your toes as a defender to do exactly the same. And United just didn't for those 3 out of those goals, really.
This game, I don't think, at kick-off was looking like it was going to get top billing on the back pages of your papers tomorrow. That might well change depending on how the scoreline ends up. Elsewhere today in the Premier League, it's been quite a spicy day. It could be here as Roberts runs into the penalty area, sends it wide towards Le Fondre. His return pass to the former West Bromwich Albion and Portsmouth striker is inaccurate. Ferdinand nips in and manages to clear away from Manchester United. Reading 3, Manchester United 4. Elsewhere today, Chelsea beaten at West Ham United. Arsenal beaten at home by Swansea. Everton held City to a draw at the Etihad. Stoke won at the Hawthorns. Liverpool winners over Saints and Spurs. Now 3 wins out of 3 after a win at Fulham. You can have your say on that and everything else in the footballing world tonight. On call Colin Moore from 7:30. All you have to do is call him 08717 22 33 44. Here's Adam Le Fondre down the left-hand side. This is Talksport. Into McAnuff running towards the angle of the penalty area, being backed up by Shorey if he wants to use him. Shorey, who's got that fantastic left-footed delivery. Still McAnuff trying to weave his way into the penalty area. He gets the ball onto his left foot, deep inside the United half. He swings it in towards the centre. It's too close to the goalkeeper, and Manchester United will clear.
United certainly looking to slow the tempo a little bit, and certainly in their own half keep the ball better. Michael Carrick has featured already, getting the ball on the half turn, looking to play balls in and around, instigating to start moves for Manchester United. They are keeping the ball a little bit better, but still the work rate is very high from Reading.
It have to be, won't it? It was the roadmap set out by Norwich City. I don't think Reading would argue that they've done as well as Norwich City in containing Manchester United. The scoreline would suggest otherwise if they did. But
Norwich didn't have as much good width though in that game. It was more concentrated in the
Young
central
played
areas.
in by Rooney out towards the left-hand side. Jones with the cross, headed away by Mariappa, and then Tam into the air. Oh, it's a bad defensive header by Ledgerwood. It drops to Van Persie, who's pulled back, is he, by Shorey? No, says the referee. Cleared away by Reading, but only as far as Evra. Young now, just outside the D. Funneled back to Rooney. Rooney clips it down the right side. Chesting down is Smalling, plays it against Mariappa. There's a whisper of handball shouts from the Manchester United supporters behind the goal, but Reading bring it clear and the referee's having none of it. Reading 3, Manchester United 4.
Good positive run by Chris Smalling to get forward from right full back on the edge of the Reading 18-yard box and try and just play a little header over the top of the central defender for Robin Van Persie. Good to see him back. Good to see Phil Jones back as well. 2 players that are going to be instrumental, I would imagine, in England's World Cup campaign as we resume in the springtime, and of course World Cup in Brazil looming. I would imagine both of those are going to be in the squad, if not the starting lineup.
We're playing Brazil soon, aren't we, England? And
Scotland as well, the 150th anniversary of the Football Association, Ireland, and then obviously back into the qualifiers.
Well, if I remember rightly, that game's on February the 6th, England against Brazil, and it's live on Talksport. Stan and I will be there. We're looking forward to doing that game. Done a couple of England games this season, and I think that's the first one we're going to do together, isn't it? Since we've come back from Ukraine. Let's see how things have developed for Roy Hodgson. Here is Van Persie towards the left-hand side of the field. Moves into an advanced position for Manchester United. Funnels the ball back towards Fletcher. Fletcher steps over it and then moves it out to Ashley Young. Young, who's a little bit narrower than he has been in this match so far, finds Carrick. Carrick gives the ball away. Morrison tries to clear. Bounces off of Carrick. Drops back to Sean Cummings, and Cummings will whack it up towards halfway, where it's chested down by Le Fondre and mopped up by Evra, and Manchester United have possession again, and that really has been the pattern of this first 8.5 minutes of the second half. Manchester United having possession of the football. Reading 3, Manchester United 4 on Talksport with Sky Sports HD. Every goal matters. Here's the jinking Ashley Young, running his feet over the ball, going one way, then the other, and then turning it back to Carrick. Carrick tries to cross after a very strong challenge from Dade Tab. He's given away a free kick in a dangerous position on the far side, the left, and that was a late challenge by the former Brentford man.
Much better from Manchester United in terms of their ball retention. They're asking plenty of questions in and around the Reading 18-yard box, to the point that J Tab, central midfielder, is having to get back into the right back area and make a last-ditch challenge to try and win the ball back. Wayne Rooney, 6 or 7 yards outside the 18-yard box, the left-hand corner of the 18-yard box, looking to whip this in with his right foot, probably in between Adam Federici and the penalty spot, looking for the likes of Chris Smalling, Phil Jones, Robin Van Persie. Phil
Rooney with the delivery in towards the near post. It's not the best. It's headed away by the head of Nicky Shorey, and it's quickly up towards Roberts, who helps it on to Tab, and they counter-attack at pace here with Fletcher trying to get back. Roberts down the right. Lafondra bursting into the centre. He's looking for Lafondra, but his cross is poor. It's over the head of the former Rochdale man, and it runs out into the left wing position. It's collected again by Lafondra into Shorey. Shorey with the left angle of the penalty area. A chance to deliver towards the back post. Headed away by Fletcher, but only as far as Roberts is in the right wing position. Can he get it back into the centre? He takes on Ashley Young. He brushes Ashley Young aside and then rams the ball into the side netting off of the former Watford man, and it's behind and away for the first corner of the second half and the third of the game for Reading.
Better, good counter-attack. The first ball though from Jason Roberts. He gets down the right-hand side of the 18-yard box. Really good run, peeling off to the far is Adam Lafondra. Way too overcooked the cross. Just needed to put that into an area on the penalty spot for Adam Lafondra to attack, but they do get the corner over on that far side.
And so far they've managed to score 2 goals from their previous 2 corners. What can Reading conjure here? Shorey with the delivery, this time towards the far post. Oh, he's juggled by the goalkeeper. He's dropped it at the feet of Morrison. What can Reading do? It's still in play. It's down the left for McAnuff. McAnuff goes down wanting the penalty. The referee says no, it's out for another corner.
Thought he was a bit unlucky there, Joby McAnuff. I'm going to have another little look at that. Lindegaard didn't take the ball cleanly. No, good tackle by Patrice Evra. He's inside the 18-yard box. He has to make the challenge. He comes away with the ball, and then, for me, McAnuff goes down way too easily. No penalty.
Here's the delivery by McAnuff towards the far post from the corner. It's the 4th of the game for Reading. It's headed away by Phil Jones at the far post and then out towards the right wing position where it's retrieved by Jay Tab, who's an inch in from the touchline into the centre of the field. He finds Ledgerwood. And then back to Cummings, a diagonal ball towards the edge of the D. And then it's an overhead kick by Lafondra on the turn, which the goalkeeper sprawls to his right to stop from sneaking in at the far post.
I think he's been exceptional, Adam Lafondra, today. His movement has been top class. Anything that bounces in and around the 18-yard box, he's looking to snap up. He's looking to pull the trigger very, very quickly. Just a little overhead kick there. Wasn't much time and space. The ball was just a longer ball played into the box. It was nodded on, I think, by Jason Roberts down towards the penalty spot, and the former Rochdale man just gets the ball on the half turn. Not dead and buried yet.
Let's go off to the King Power Stadium. In the Championship tonight, the 5:20 kickoff was Leicester against Derby. Here's Jeff Peters for Talksport.
68 minutes gone. Leicester still lead by 2-1. Zach Whitbread and Martin Waghorn with the goals in the first half of the first half. Theo Robinson for Derby. Dyer's had a shot saved in this second half. It's a really open game. Both sides going for it here. Nugent and Marshall have just come on for Vardy and Dyer for Leicester, who lead Derby 2-1.
Reading 3, Manchester United 4 here at the Medeski Stadium. Elsewhere today in the Barclays Premier League, Chelsea were beaten at West Ham. Arsenal beaten at home by Swansea. Everton got a point off of Manchester City at the Etihad. And it's another good win for Tottenham Hotspur, who seem to go through fits and starts, don't they? They lose a couple of games on the trot, then win a couple of games on the trot. Lovely bit of movement by Hal Robson-Kanu to outwit Patrice Evra as the ball runs towards the Reading right. Into the penalty area he goes. He's got Roberts in support. Can he pull it back to him? He does in the end pull it into the penalty area. Lafondra brings it down. Can't turn and get the shot away. Evans comes across and they knock the ball out of play off of Lafondra and away for a goal kick. Lafondra and McAnuff are complaining to Mark Housey. They wanted a corner kick. They're not going to get one.
Well, I thought it was a corner. It was good play down the right-hand side of the 18-yard box. Good penetrating run. Adam Lafondra runs in front of Lindegaard. Well, it's a corner.
I don't really understand how it isn't a corner, do you?
Ball cannons off Patrice Evra.
No, I think it did come off the back of Lafondra's left leg on the way through. Mark Housey may well have picked up a good spot there. Although the Reading fans, as you can hear by their chants of "you don't know what you're doing," may disagree. Reading 3, Manchester United 4 on Talksport. And we haven't had a goal now for 13 minutes, which I think is the longest period in the match that we haven't gone, that we've gone without a goal so far this evening. And Jay Tab is just stopping the ball from reaching Michael Carrick, but Evra has won it back. And it's all the way back to Lindegaard, the goalkeeper. And interesting that Manchester United, after persisting with David De Gea for the majority of the beginning of the season, despite chopping and changing early doors, once he came back from that wisdom tooth problem that he had, they didn't put him straight back into the team. And as Alex Ferguson was saying yesterday, you know, Anders hasn't done anything wrong, so he has to be kept in the side. Here's Jones moving forward into an advanced right wing position, well, right channel position, approaching the 18-yard area, scooping it over the top of the defence and into the arms of the goalkeeper. I wonder if David De Gea might be thinking to himself, actually, with Lindegaard conceding 3 tonight. There might well be the door opening again. They play Cluj on Tuesday evening, Manchester United, in a game which means very, very little for them.
Well, I imagine
in the
them going to
Champions
make
League.
lots of changes, hence this very strong side today. I think that Sir Alex Ferguson traditionally has always looked to qualify in good time, in good order in the Champions League, and they've done it season in, season out by
Well, they
and
didn't do it
large.
last season, did they? But
No,
this season has been back to the basics, hasn't it?
It has. Obviously, I saw a lot of the Europa League last season, and particularly the 2 games where they were played off the park against Athletic Bilbao.
Here's Jones down the right for Manchester United, who lead by 4 goals to 3. The ball played in between, took the centre-back and the full-back Shorey, and Jones is continuing his run. He pulls the ball back to the penalty spot, looking for Van Persie. It's steered away by Morrison into the path of Jason Roberts. Roberts then gets a little bit of good fortune because he tried to take the ball wide of Darren Fletcher, and it was only the intervention of the referee's right boot which saw it through to Jay Tabb. Reading 3, Manchester United 4. This is Talksport. Tomorrow, MK Dons against Wimbledon. Tonight, we're at the Medeski Stadium. Here's Roberts in the centre circle for Reading, coming forward with Tabb now. On the right side is Hal Robson-Kanu, who was full of trickery in that first 45. Haven't seen as much of him in the second half. Into Tabb. He's got Lafondra in the centre. Ledgerwood. And now on to Shorey. Shorey in the left full-back position, but swinging the ball into the centre. Headed away by Evans. On the edge of the D is Ledgerwood. Recycles the ball. It drops to Roberts, who's onside. He shoots, and it's stopped by the goalkeeper. I don't know if there was a flag on the far side, but the referee did blow for something.
I think he gave a foul. I think that he thought that Jason Roberts, who was on the penalty spot, was just a little bit too aggressive in the challenge on Johnny Evans. Just a little nudge in the back. Johnny Evans' hands go up in the air. It was indeed for that. And as Jason Roberts then spins and looks to get his shot on target, the referee and linesman had already given the infringement against the former Blackburn Rovers striker. They are still trying to get the ball down and play, though, in that final third. Still far from concluded this game yet. Reading just rode their luck at times, but certainly looking more than capable, particularly down that right-hand side with Hal Robson-Kanu looking a real danger.
And the Manchester United contingent, who have made the journey down the motorway network to be here tonight, number 2,225, and it is they who are making the noise away to our right behind the goal, wrapped up in their Manchester United scarves and hats, and with their red, white and black flags draped across the back of the stand here at the Medeski Stadium. Under the floodlights in Berkshire, it is Reading 3, Manchester United 4. A first half which exploded with goals. Second half which hasn't. Ball loose on halfway after Roberts has made a mistake and run into traffic in the shape of Michael Carrick, and Manchester United have it back again. Look as if they're going back to the top of the Barclays Premier League tonight, with best away record in the league. 5 Premier League away wins before today, 2 more than anyone else had managed. 14 goals away from home, make that now 18 goals away from home, and they're looking for a 6th win on their travels this campaign. Here is Rooney on the right, 3 yards in from the touchline, already 2 goals to his name. To Van Persie, trundling along the 18-yard line, looking to funnel the ball into the path of Fletcher. Stopped by the Reading defence, cleared away by Cummings from inside the box, with Van Persie running at him and bearing down on him to try and put him off his clearance. Cleared up towards halfway, and then Young's got it back, and now Evra on the burst down the left side, pulls the ball into the area. Rooney is waiting. Can he convert for the hat-trick? No, he steers it back to Fletcher. Fletcher with a backheel when he should have shot, and now Van Persie with a chance block. How many times did they want to pass the ball before they got a shot away? Far too many. It was one pass too many, and in the end there was a player who was offside as a result, and it wouldn't have counted anyway.
It was excellent play by Patrice Evra. He takes on Sean Cummings, the fullback, and gets right to the byline. As we say, virtually every game, once you get to the byline either side of the goal, there are so many more options. Goalkeeper is having a decision to make. Does he stand his line? Does he go and second guess? You've got defenders backpedaling. They could quite easily put the ball in the back of their own net as they're scampering towards goal, and he had 3 or 4 options around him. As it broke to Wayne Rooney, the angle was really starting to tighten on that right-hand side. I think he was tempted to try and get the shot off the half volley, but decided to pull it back to Darren Fletcher.
Jay Tabb is bundled over, but regains his footing, doesn't regain the ball though, and Manchester United bring the ball clear over on the far side, the left. Then it's Sean Cummings who intervenes to stop Young pursuing his opportunity, and now the ball breaks into the right wing position for Reading with Hal Robson-Kanu. just tiptoeing his way to the penalty area. A low cross into the 6-yard box isn't the best. Stabbed away by Johnny Evans and then Carrick, and we can go off to the King Power Stadium in the Championship. Leicester against Derby. Jeff Peters.
Well, Leicester now lead Derby by 3-1. David Nugent on as substitute has headed in a lovely little cross from Marshall just moments after Waghorn had hit the bar for the second time in this game. We've got 15 minutes left. Leicester 3, Derby 1.
And here it's Reading 3, Manchester United 4. Here is Young, down the left, into Jones. Jones back to Van Persie. Van Persie with the ball a little bit behind him. Steers his shot over the top of the crossbar and a little bit wide too. Good opportunity.
It was, and Robin Van Persie is exactly the man again down that left-hand side. Good overlap by Phil Jones. And Ashley Young, as he brings the ball to the left-hand corner of the 18-yard box. Jones goes past him, pulls it back to Van Persie on the penalty spot. It's one of those you can't quite be able to wrap your foot around, and took it down to the goalkeeper's right hand. But textbook in terms of movement, in terms of incision from Manchester United down that left-hand side.
Here's Roberts, 2-3 yards in from the touchline, moving towards the penalty area, comes diagonally in, then sends the ball right. Al Robson-Kanu makes a run, it's overhit by Roberts, and it trundles behind and away for a goal kick. 20 minutes gone in the second half, and still one goal separates these two teams. 1 goal in 7, but all came in the space of the first 45 minutes. It was a blistering first 45, a cascade of goals, and Manchester United are narrowly in front. And they say it's a 2-horse race. Well, Sir Alex Ferguson says it's a 2-horse race in the Barclays Premier League, and I suppose when we look at the table tonight, it pretty much looked that way. Oh, there's a mistake by the goalkeeper, Federici. He's given it to Robin Van Persie, and Van Persie, 4 yards out, sends the ball over the top. Well, Federici was messing around with the ball on the edge of his own 6-yard box. The ball was played back to him by Mariappa. He took the ball on his right foot, then tried a Cruyff turn. Van Persie closed him down and robbed him of the ball. He took it wide of the Australian, and with the goal gaping, leaning backwards, Van Persie sent it into row Z.
Lesson 1 to goalkeepers: don't do a Cruyff turn on the edge of the 6-yard box when any striker worthy salt, never mind Robin Van Persie, is chasing you down. What on earth was he thinking? Just clear your lines, get the whole back four pushed up to the halfway line. A massive let-off for Adam Federici and Reading.
It's a bit calamitous from the goalkeeper. What was he doing? Van Persie almost adding to Manchester United's advantage, although he had a goal chalked off which was probably legitimate in the first half when the ball was behind the line, although Reading claimed they cleared it off a bit, and I think he probably should have scored on that occasion too. He'll be disappointed that he didn't. Reading 3, Manchester United 4. He is on the score sheet tonight. 2 from Rooney, 1 from Anderson and 1 from Robin Van Persie, after Robson-Kanu, Lafondra and Morrison from Reading. 22.5 minutes played in the second half. There's going to be another substitution. Don McGuinness will keep us up to date with that in just a few seconds. It's been a much lower key affair in this second half. The ball is on the halfway line. Morrison back to Mariappa, whose back pass invited Robin Van Persie pressure on Adam Federici. Gets the ball to the left. Federici, who had a torrid start to the season, conceded 14 goals in his first 4 appearances this season, then let in just 5 in the subsequent 4, has now let in 4 in one afternoon. Shorey out to the left, and Joby McAnuff, who takes on Chris Smalling down the left touchline, looking to get to the byline. Claims that Smalling got a nick on the board. Referee says he didn't, and it's a goal kick away to our left. Reading 3, Manchester United 4. This is Talksport. This is Sky Sports HD, where every goal matters. Here's a substitution, and here's Don McGuinness on the touchline. Don.
Well, as Jason Roberts said, he's leaving the field now. He's been full of toil for his side today. It's Pavel Pogrebniak who's going to come on and replace him for the final 22 minutes or so.
Yeah, not a real surprise there at all, Dom. Sam hasn't really scored the requisite amount of goals to try and get Reading wins either at home or on the road. Tried all 3 of the striking pool really, in terms of Lafondra, Roberts and Pogrebniak.
Roberts hasn't scored in 19 Premier League appearances. Pogrebniak is the top scorer.
It was a strange one because I know they had that purple patch at Fulham when he came into the Premier League.
Pogrebniak?
Yes, but I know that I think it was H&J had spoken to a Russian correspondent, and they were surprised in Russia because his goal scoring has never really tallied up to that purple patch that he had for Fulham. So good time to sell if you were Martin Jol.
He scored a very, very good goal, didn't he, for Reading against Chelsea earlier in the season when we were at Stamford Bridge, when he met a Gareth McCleary cross with a superb glancing header beyond Petr Cech. 25 gone in the second 45. This is Talksport, and it's Reading 3, Manchester United 4. And again, Manchester United looking a little bit more resolute after the changes that they made.
Much more so.
With Smalling coming in at right full-back for the hauled-off Raphael after
Phil
30
Jones
minutes.
as well, rather than Anderson. Anderson was very good in the attacking portion of the pitch for the first 20 minutes. In that sort of crazy 20-25 minutes that we had, but there's no doubt about it, Phil Jones is a more grafting, more diligent choice. Like I say, he can get forward. I think that we'll see in his career he will get goals, but certainly in that sort of defensive formation, having a 2 sitting in front of the back 4, it's been more of the Manchester United that we expected to come here in the first place.
For it to finish 5-4 in Reading's favour, it's 40-1, by the way. 5-4 United is 10-1. Pogrebniak to score the next goal of the game, 12-1. And if you want more in-play live odds and markets, it's bet365.com. This is Talksport. And away to our right on the big screen, they just showed a picture of a young kid, must be about 6 or 7 years of age. The ball runs through towards Federici. This time doesn't take any chances. It does clear upfield. It's misjudged by Evans now. And Evans then helps the ball out towards the far side. It's collected now by Ledgett Wood and then funneled back towards Morrison. And for a second there, Evans got a little bit caught because he thought that the player behind him, Pogrebniak, was offside. He's still complaining to the linesman. Here on the near side, the right, Smalling is slaloming forward. He sends the ball into the centre. It's a poor delivery by Smalling, cut out by Ledgett Wood, and Reading run it clear. What I was going to say was, there's a little boy talking to his dad. He's got his big woolly hat on that's pulled down round by his ears, and he's turning around and chatting to his dad about probably what he wants for Christmas, instead of keeping an eye on the football match. And in the first half, that wouldn't have been the case. It was a game that you couldn't take your eye off. In the second, well, it hasn't lived up to that first 45 minutes, that's for sure. Brian McDermott down on the near touchline, just patrolling, just keeping an eye on proceedings. He's already made his big change with Roberts coming off and Pogrebniak coming on, and Pogrebniak is just causing some problems for Johnny Evans, and Johnny Evans just pulls him back. There's a little nick at him, and Manchester United give away a free kick on the edge of their own penalty area. Another chance for Shorey to deliver. Danny Welbeck going to come on very shortly for Manchester United. He's just stripped and ready to go. We'll get down to Dom in just a second. Let's just bring you this free kick. Reading 3, Manchester United 4. 17 and a half minutes to go on Talksport. 1089, 1053 on the medium wave. DAB digital radio on your iPhone app as well. Android app. And listen to us in a variety of different ways, including on our website, talksport.co.uk. Here's the delivery into the box. A back header by Rio Ferdinand to stop it from reaching Pavel Pogrebniak. And then out from the right full-back position by Michael Carrick too. And then under the floodlights, Cummings loses the ball inside his own half, but then steers it all the way back to his goalkeeper.
Yeah, it looks as if Manchester United are going to make a change. Danny Welbeck possibly for Wayne Rooney, I would imagine. I think that you want Robin Van Persie still playing on the shoulder of the last man.
Here's Fletcher, played through the centre. He's got Van Persie to his left, to the far side now, and Ashley Young, who gets the ball onto his right foot, tries a strike, balloons the ball out towards this near touchline, and it goes out for a throw-in. I think it took a deflection, did it? I'm not sure that it did, actually. Now let's go down to the touchline because there is going to be a substitution. Here's Don McGuinness.
Well, interestingly, it's Robin Van Persie that's going to make way. Danny Welbeck will come on, so quite who plays the lone striker up front, if you like. Could be Wayne Rooney, could be Danny Welbeck, of course. Either can play wide as well, but Van Persie gets his goal. He makes his way off to the sidelines. Probably could have had a hat-trick tonight as well.
Well, Danny Welbeck is the Three Lions top scorer in 2012, but he's only scored 1 goal for Manchester United this term.
Yeah, I was called by the Football Association the other day about England's player awards. He's been my player of 2012, and I picked out Danny Welbeck. I think he scored 5. I think his front player's got much better for England. His all-round play. Comes onto the pitch, central striker Wayne Rooney still on the right, Ashley Young on the left.
Well, we've seen some beautiful events here at the Medeski Stadium tonight. We saw 7 goals in the first 45 minutes. It's been a little bit more controlled and cautious in the second half, that's for sure. But just over the stand opposite us, just peeking over the top of the floodlights, you can see the most beautiful orange moon. It's about 80% visible, and it's lighting up a very clear night sky here in Berkshire. Looks like a pumpkin in the sky. Here's J-Tab, picking the ball up inside opposition territory, running through the centre, letting fly from 30 yards, and it's over the top of the crossbar, right down the centre. I think Lindegaard had it covered, and it's away for a goal kick.
Decent effort by J-Tab. His energy and his enthusiasm have been a real hallmark, a real feature of Reading's play today. Been willing to roll his sleeves up and get in amongst Manchester United's midfielders to try and break play down, but on that occasion just nick the ball and then goes on a scampering little run. Dead central, pulls the trigger from fully 25-30 yards, but very difficult from that kind of distance to control a strike and get it on target. It was always going high and wide. You do get the feeling now that Reading need to throw something a little bit different at it, you know, get the ball a little bit more direct to Pogrebniak.
Something that they did in the first half, and I remember them doing against Chelsea, where they took the lead in that match as well and caused some problems for them. You know, pushing the ball out wide, getting the ball into the area at a quick pace. And Manchester United, we already seen are vulnerable from set pieces. They've only made one change to that back four, and that's Chris Smalling coming in instead of Raphael. You would have thought that would be an area which they would try to exploit again. They just haven't got it out wide as much as they did in the first 45 minutes. Maybe credit to Manchester United for not allowing them to do so. 15 minutes to go. You're listening to Talksport. It's Reading 3, Manchester United 4. Live and exclusive national radio commentary, which last week we had 2 of them and yielded no goals between the 2 matches. Tonight we've had 7 in 45 minutes. Here is Hal Robson-Kanu down the right, receiving the ball from Sean Morrison. It's cut out by Evans across to Fletcher. Fletcher stabs it to Smalling. Smalling up towards halfway, wearing a long sleeve red Manchester United shirt, looking for Rooney in the right wing position. Outwits Mariappa, gets into the area, nudges it back towards Jones. Jones goes to strike Mariappa with a very good sliding challenge. Excellent interception by Mariappa. Really good strong tackle from the former Watford man. Diverts the ball away to safety, and Manchester United have to build from the back again. It was an excellent challenge on Phil Jones by Adrian Mariappa. Shorey heading the ball away from Rooney. Infield to Ledgerwood. Ledgerwood up to Lafondre, and then back to McAnuff. Here's Shorey again. Just a couple of steps inside the Manchester United half. Across the halfway line he goes, and then almost along the length of it out towards the right, and Cummings before he sends the ball into the right channel as Reading look at it, and it's cut out by Carrick. Well, I must admit I wasn't expecting this sort of game in the second half, although I didn't remember asking Bet365 Steve Freeth at half-time what the odds were on no goals for the next 45 minutes.
I certainly think that both teams are getting more bodies behind the ball, even at the mere hint of a counter-attack. I mean, it is technically 1-0, isn't it, in terms of what's at stake here. Reading will feel that they can pile forward and maybe nick something late on. Manchester United very aware of their defensive issues and problems, and it's almost playing out like a 1-0 currently. Very nervous and edgy.
Well, we know that Reading conceded lots of late goals in the game. Here is McAnuff down the left-hand side. Low cross into the centre, and once again Lindegaard didn't look 100% convinced as that ball came in on the right foot of McAnuff, straight down the middle of the goal. He pounced on it, but just almost squirmed out from underneath his body into the path of the Russian Pogrebniak, who was bearing down on him. 3-4 the score in Manchester United's favour here. What's the situation at the King Power Stadium? There's been another goal for Jeff Peters.
Well, they're still playing, but it's Leicester 4, Derby 1, and David Nugent, who's been out for a couple of games with an injury. We didn't think he was going to play today. He started on the bench, he's come off the bench, and he scored twice, once with a header, and this was a lovely, really, really good right-footed finish. Top corner, Stam would have been proud of it. Leicester 4, Derby 1.
Well, we'll check that one out a little bit later on. 16 of Reading's goals have been conceded in the last 30 minutes of games, and tonight it's them who are looking for one, and usually those goals do end up searing past Adam Federici when Reading are chasing one. Happened against Wigan a couple of weeks ago. It happened against Aston Villa in midweek 2. They're going to make a change. Don McGuinness can tell us all about it.
Well, it's a wide man for a wide man. The captain, McAnuff, he throws the armband to Ledgerwood because he's going to be replaced now by Gareth McCleary. So he's going to come on and try and add a little bit of width as well.
Former Nottingham Forest man Gareth McCleary, who has just the one goal to his name so far this season, eligible for Jamaica Gareth McCleary. May well end up playing for them in the not too distant future. There are ongoing conversations. 35 on the clock. This is Talksport. Out on the left-hand side, the ball is with Evra. Evra back to Johnny Evans. Evans all the way across to Ferdinand, who's a little bit further towards this right-hand side. Up on halfway is Jones. Jones across the back four to Carrick. Carrick now just meandering into the centre circle before finding Ashley Young, who turns and runs towards the 18-yard box, sends it wide to Evra. There's a slip on the far side by Cummings, but he recovers sufficiently to just manage to nick the ball away from the Frenchman Evra, and it's out on the far side and away for a Reading throw inside Manchester United territory. Remember, Call Collingwood coming up at 7:30 tonight. Not too long away now to talk about West Ham beating Chelsea by 3-1. Swansea beating Arsenal by 2-0. Everton holding on to a draw at Manchester City. Stoke winning at the Hawthorns with some cracking defending against an up and rising West Bromwich Albion side who have actually lost 2 in a row now after going up into third at one position, fourth at one stage. Liverpool winners over Saints. Spurs 3 wins in a row now after a victory against Fulham. So that and more to talk about. You might want to talk about Leicester in the Championship or events in the FA Cup today. You can do it all. 08717 2233 44. Crystal Palace top of the lot in the Championship at the moment.
Good win for them
after their victory today against their rivals Brighton. It's not local, is it? It's a rivalry, but it's not local.
Yeah, it is. I think it's
30-something miles. I think even more than that.
With Jonathan Pearce a little bit earlier, he was talking about it going back to the Alan Mullery days by all accounts, that rivalry. It might have been even in the sort of third division days when they played each other a hell of a lot as well.
Yeah, there's a big rivalry between the two, and I don't know if it's an absence for Brighton in terms of any sort of team in their locality, but I think someone did tell me geographically Crystal Palace is the nearest team to them. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Ledgerwood taking the ball up towards halfway, sending the ball all the way back towards Adam Federici, who miskicks his clearance. It's skied into the air. It drops to Ledgerwood, the now captain, with the band around his left arm, and then it's back to Federici again, who doesn't clear with any real confidence. It drops for a Manchester United shirt. Fletcher is the man who retrieves it. 8 minutes to go before the conclusion of this match. Manchester United leading by 4-3 away at the Majeski Stadium. It's picked up by Young, who's trying to wriggle clear. Game lacking a real goal threat in this second half. Both teams have kept a lot more men behind the ball. It hasn't been as open. It hasn't been as attacking. You wouldn't have expected it to be after what was an exhilarating, open and far too cavalier first 45 minutes from both these two teams. Here's Jones pushing forward for United. Down the right he goes, looking for the run of Welbeck. He gets it back after his initial passes, defended by Mariappa, and the Mariappa intercepts again, and Reading are able to get the ball up towards halfway with McCleary. Trying for Pogregniak. Across comes Carrick and just interjects to take the ball away from his intended target, and then it's out of play on this near side after Welbeck fails to control, and there's going to be another change. Dom McGuinness on the touchline. Dom?
Well, it is a final throw of the dice. As far as Brian McDermott is involved, Noel Hunt is the third substitution for him and making his way off. As Robson Connor, it seems like an age ago since he scored that goal that opened the floodgates of all that goals in the first 35 of this game. But that's the final change for Reading.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, wasn't it? Definitely feels like that now. And Noel Hunt comes on. He's not too far away from his 100th start for Reading. His next start will be his 100th start. He scored 3 in a row in a clutch of games about a month ago. Hasn't scored since. He's on now.
They obviously need him, and Gareth McCleary. Saw Gareth McCleary, Nottingham Forest, more than capable of picking the ball up midway through the opponent's half and running.
They're going for it, aren't they? I mean,
they have to go for it, that's what I mean. But no,
Hunt,
certainly McCleary, since he's come on, they haven't got him on the ball enough. You've got to give him the ball at feet. He can make things happen.
Here he is on the right-hand side, trying to take on Evra. He goes over the top of the ball, then takes it to the byline, then sends it towards the far post. It's kept in on the far post by Noel Hunt, headed away by Rooney, then hacked further clear. Welbeck colliding with Mariappa. Mariappa gets the free kick. The referee says play on because Mariappa's got the ball back. And now Morrison out to the left, and Shorey. They've got to get the ball into the area. 6 minutes on the clock before the conclusion of this game on Talksport, with Reading behind by 4-3 to Manchester United. Ferdinand chesting the ball down, and it's into the feet of the goalkeeper, the big Dane. Anders Lindegaard. Full time in the game at the King Power Stadium. Leicester against Derby, and a win for Leicester, Jeff.
Yes, 4-1. Zach Whitbread headed in early on. Waghorn with the assist. Waghorn then steered in the second before Robinson halved the deficit. Leicester's subs combined for the third on 74. Marshall setting up Nugent for a header. Nugent got his second with a sweet first-time finish late on, but Waghorn deservedly man of the match. Leicester up to third after beating Derby 4-1.
Up to third indeed, and they're just 2 points behind Cardiff in second. Here is Ashley Young on the left-hand side, trying to push the ball back into the path of Phil Jones. He collides with Sean Cummings, gives away a free kick. And Reading have it back again. So Alex Ferguson standing inside his technical area with his big, long, smart black jacket on, with that zip-up top underneath it. I don't know if it's sewn into the lining of the jacket or not, but it's a regular feature now, isn't it? Zip right up under his chin to make sure that his neck doesn't get too cold as the winter comes into play. You got an advent calendar, by the way?
I haven't. No, you're going to buy me one?
Should do, really.
Should have a Talksport one, shouldn't we?
All the what would be behind door number 1, do you reckon?
Alan Brazil.
A chocolate Alan Brazil.
Smiling Alan Brazil.
No, surely that would be the present that you get on the 25th, because that would be the really big chocolate, wouldn't it? Reading 3, Manchester United 4. This is Talksport. Here is Jay Tabb over on the far touchline, bringing the ball into the centre. It's would it be a chocolate liqueur behind that Alan Brazil door? I think it probably would, wouldn't it? Here is Ferdinand up to Smalling. Smalling on halfway, tries to go round Hunt and then puts it straight into touch. And Reading being urged to try and just conjure up one more little attack, one more bit of pressure that might well see Manchester United crack with 5 minutes to go by their manager Brian McDermott, who I think will take heart from this performance. I mean, it would be a bonus if they were to get anything from the game.
Yes, I mean, I think that, you know, the way that they came out of the blocks, we said before, and that I think that I've heard from Madeline Lafondra and Brian McDermott several times this season of trying to make the Medeski a bit of a fortress. And there's no doubt that you feel that the ability is there if the first half and the second half, that the way that they've tried to play themselves into position, it hasn't been all long ball.
Well, we talked about Manchester United not conceding since the changes. Reading didn't make any defensive changes, and they haven't conceded either since the break.
Well, absolutely. I think that's why both managers, you'll hear something along the lines of, we're delighted to be scoring goals, but our first half display in terms of conceding them is totally unacceptable. I mean, one of the things I will talk about on Call Collingwood, Manchester United have conceded now 21 goals. That's 10 more than Manchester City. That's only 3 or 4 less than teams like Aston Villa near the foot of the table. Now, will that come to haunt them come the end of the season?
Well, it did last season, didn't it?
There you go. So it's a very live and a very relevant question. There's no doubt Manchester United, with the striking pool they've got, have eminent ability to be able to see teams off almost at will at times. But when you are 10 goals worse off with a third of the season gone than the current champions of England, Arsenal have got a better defensive record, Chelsea have got a better defensive record.
Smalling has made a sweeping run towards this right-hand side, and he's collected a pass from Carrick. He's into the area and he lashes a shot towards the far corner. Rooney turns on him. Ashley Young turns on him. Phil Jones turns on him.
Just should have whipped it in hard and low.
Says, you've got to get back and help out your defence.
Yeah, he gets forward. I mean, again, what you'll see Chris Smalling do as his career goes on is more than... I mean, we think of Rafael da Silva as a player that makes those runs forward and overlaps a Valencia or a Nani or a Young. But Chris Smalling can do that, and he will be encouraged to do that by Manchester United just by virtue of the fact that they love to attack and they love to score goals. But when you're down the right-hand side of the 18-yard box as a full-back, you are not going to score those goals on the half volley, hitting it from an impossible angle, and it's going to go in very, very, very rarely. So what are the options? The options are players who do score lots of goals in front of you. Danny Welbeck, Wayne Rooney and Ashley Young should have just been whipped hard and low into them.
Reading 3, Manchester United 4, and we're into the final minute and a half on Talksport with Sky Sports HD, where every goal matters. Here is Sean Cummings out towards the right, and Gareth McCleary. It's hoisted down the right once again, looking for the run of Adam Lafondra. It's headed out by Rio Ferdinand, who's been pulled out from that central defensive position to marshal Adam Lafondra, the Manchester United schoolboy fan. He grew up with pictures of United heroes on his bedroom wall. Here is Nicky Shorey, in feet towards Pogrebniak, back out to the left, a chance maybe for Noel Hunt to cross on his right foot. It's coming off of Chris Smalling back into the path of Shorey. Again, Smalling gets in the way as Shorey tries to send it down the left touchline. A run by Mariappa, a nod by Hunt into Mariappa's path, and then he slips as tries to divert the ball into the centre, and it flies behind and away for a goal kick away to our left. Minute left. This is Talksport.
Just get the feeling now that they need to get the ball on the halfway line, play those diagonals. Seen very little of Pavel Pogrebniak since he came on. Certainly nowhere near as the impact of Adam Lafondre, who throws his arms up in the air. I think he's done very well today. Got an excellent touch, got really good awareness around him and around the 18-yard box. Hasn't quite had the backup in this second half that his efforts have deserved.
If Reading are going to be accused of anything, it's going to be naivety. They've now thrown away 17 points from winning positions this season. It's not just against Manchester United that they've surrendered a lead. And I'm sure
it just goes to show they can keep, they're on their way to a clean sheet in the second half of the game. They conceded 4 in the first. So what is going on? That isn't ability, because it's virtually the same players that have been on the pitch for the large portion of it. Is it a fact that they go a little bit too
for 90 minutes?
Concentration? Do they go too gung-ho at times when they've got their noses in front? Do they need a little bit more of a leader in midfield that says, you know what we have, we will hold for the next 5 minutes, let's not concede?
And for Manchester United ahead of the Manchester derby, will they be thinking to themselves, well, we daren't be as lax from set pieces next week as we were from this? Well, they've got another set piece to deal with. We've got 3 minutes of added time. We're into the first of those, and Nicky Shorey has been awarded a free kick on the far side. Well, it wasn't he who was fouled, but he's hoisted the ball down the right anyway to Gareth McCleary by the byline. Tries to produce a cross, and he sends the ball into the centre. Ashley Young was covering back, and he just about diverted it behind and away for another corner kick. It's the 5th of the game for Reading.
Need to get everybody in the box now. Plenty of blue and white hoop shirts in around the 6-yard box. Penalty spot and hovering around the D. Can they get back on level terms?
Right at the last. Are Reading about to rob Manchester United of all 3 points? It's delivered in towards the far post. It's headed down by Morrison. It's a free header and it's tipped over the top by Lindegaard. Well, he should have done better with his header, Sean Morrison. I don't think he can believe that actually the ball came all the way through to him. He rose above Phil Jones. He nodded the ball down into the ground when he needed to get a firm header in on target, and it was tipped over the top by the Danish goalkeeper, and it's out for another corner, the 6th of the game. And Nicky Shorey has just taken the ball into his arms and been told that actually the corner has got to be taken from the other side of the pitch. So he runs fully 50 yards across the pitch towards this near side for a set-piece delivery. So, is this the last chance for Reading to try and equalise? Will this be an opportunity? Manchester United have been lapsed from these situations so far this evening. Shorey's delivery, deep towards the far post. Goalkeeper nowhere. Coming in again at the far post. Another header. Again, it's Morrison who gets up high into the air but steers it over the top of the crossbar.
Yes, I think that might be it, and some of the Reading fans as well. I've just been... men can multitask. People are asking me, how do I manage to tweet goals and talk at the same time? Men can multitask. Manchester United, I mentioned, conceded 10 more than Manchester City, 2 less than Aston Villa. There are a host of teams. Manchester United...
But they do score a hell of a lot.
I know, but you can't rely on that all through the season, Sam. It's about, champions of England tend to defend well, and they defend to attack well. There's a massive disparity currently between Manchester United's attacking ability and the ability to keep clean sheets. It is important, and Sir Alex Ferguson will acknowledge that.
I'm sure he will, but he was asked the question about Manchester United and their performances up until this point of the season yesterday in his press conference, and he wryly pointed out if you just have a look at the Barclays Premier League table, you'll see that we aren't doing too bad. Well, tonight they'll be topped by 3 points, 36 points from 15 games. Manchester City in second, 33 points from 15 games. And Chelsea, Tottenham and West Bromwich Albion all with 26 points coming after that. Reading 3, Manchester United 4. All goals coming in the first 45 minutes of the game. Ball out towards the right. It's with Sean Cummings. Back to his goalkeeper, Federici, whose distribution's been off all night. Again, he hacks it into the crowd. The referee blows the full-time whistle, so it won't matter anyway. An absolutely thrilling first half, which was cavalier, it was open, and it featured a glut of goals. A second half which was the complete opposite. Much more resolute defending from both these two teams, and without many goal chances in sight. Robin van Persie maybe should have added to Manchester United's tally when he took the ball off of Federici's toes in front of the goal away to our right and blazed over the top of the crossbar. But it finishes as it ended the first half with Reading 3, Manchester United 4. Stan Collymore.
Yes, I think that's a crazy first half, a very entertaining first half where Manchester United punished and capitalised on defensive errors at right full-back. I thought Ashley Young was exceptional in that first half. And Reading, credit to them, when they got the ball down the left and the right-hand side of the 18-yard box, they got corners, they got free kicks, they got lots of joy when the ball was whipped in, and they scored 3 goals, and you thought this could be an upset on the cards today. But when you've got Rooney, when you've got Van Persie, you can bring on Welbeck. No Chicharito even comes on the pitch today. You know that they have the goal power. Do they have the defensive ability to be able to wrestle back the Barclays Premier League title from their nearest and dearest over the road? The team that has the blue moon hovering above them, Manchester City. Time will tell.
Well, it's more of an amber moon over the Berkshire night sky tonight. A Berkshire night which was lit up by 7 goals in the first 45 minutes. But for the 7th time this season, Manchester United have come from behind to win a football match and secure all 3 points. Manchester City may well continue the chase, but with victory at Reading, United are still ahead in Sir Alex's 2-horse race. It's finished Reading 3, Manchester United 4, and it's time for Stan's Man of the Match.
Man of the Match on Talksport with Sky Sports HD, the home of live goals.
Who are you plummeting for tonight?
I'm going to go for a man that I thought it just worked very hard all the way through the game. I think that he did what he did in the first minute right the way through to the 92nd and 93rd. Lots of energy, lots of enthusiasm, a couple of shots that were a little bit wayward, but J-Tab, I thought his midfield performance against the likes of Anderson, Darren Fletcher, Michael Carrick was very, very good today. Really led the team very well from that critical central midfield area. On the wrong end of the result, but J-Tab gets my man of the match.
Well, he gave away a penalty, didn't he, in the first 16 minutes of the game, but he went on to have a very good evening. It's all thanks to Sky Sports HD. Never miss a moment of the action with all 6 Sky Sports channels live on your iPhone, your iPad or your laptop with Sky Go.
Man of the Match on Talksport with Sky Sports HD, the home of live goals.
Well, for only the 4th time in Premier League history, the lead in a Premier League football match changed 3 times tonight, changed hands 3 times tonight. First time since the 12th of February 2000 that has happened in this match, which was absolutely thrilling, especially in the first 45 minutes. Elsewhere in the Premier League today, there's so much to talk about on Call Collymore. Chelsea beating West Ham, Arsenal beaten at home by Swansea, Everton being held to a draw by City at the Etihad, Stoke winning at the Hawthorns, Liverpool winners over Southampton, Spurs now 3 wins out of 3. And of course QPR under Harry Redknapp getting a point at Aston Villa. Harry saying after the game that they wanted all 3 points today, but they'll have to go again next week. You can talk about all those games and more on Call Collymore. 08717 722 3344. In the Championship in the 520, Leicester beat Derby by 4-1. David Nugent coming off the bench to score twice in the last 15 minutes of that game. It sends Leicester up to 3rd. Cardiff are in 2nd with 38 points from 19 games, and a game in hand over both Leicester and the leaders Crystal Palace, who have an average of 2 points a game. 20 games played, 40 points, and Crystal Palace today 3-0 winners over Brighton. Boy, hasn't Ian Holloway landed a plum job there, inheriting that team from Dougie Freedman, whose Bolton side were beaten by Ipswich at the Reebok Stadium today. 08717 722 3344. Call Collymore on the way.